Do your own work. Eyes on your own paper.
Schneider, we are busy working. Why are you here?
Didn't you call?
No.
Must be you now.
Hello? Yeah, he's here.
They trace me no matter where I am. It's a curse.
It's for Alex.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a girl.
A girl?
Yeah, girl. You remember them. Adam had one.
Hello? Oh, hi. Hold on a second, okay? Does everybody have to look? Thanks. Hi. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, I'll write down. Huh? That's okay, I guess. Okay. See you in a bit. Bye.
Is it important?
I guess.
Is she anybody we know, Alex?
Her name's Joanne. I think I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
Well, whoever she is, the kid's got it bad. Anytime you brush your teeth at 2 in the afternoon, it's either love or a day-old burrito.
Come on, Schneider, leave him alone. Girls are a new experience for him.
Girls are always a new experience. They're like snowflakes. No two are alike. Some are frigid. Some are flaky. Some melt faster than others. Some turn to slush.
Schneider, can we get the weather report another time, please?
Hi, look, Alex, you got a new girlfriend. Her name is Joanne. It's time you and I sat down and had a man-to-legend talk.
Alex, you don't have to answer any questions about Joanne, and you don't have to listen to any advice from someone named Schneider.
Is she pretty?
Pretty? Yeah, I guess she's pretty. Barbara, you gonna wear those weird slippers?
Yeah, they keep my weird feet warm. Why?
She'll be here any minute.
How come?
She called from downstairs. If my voice cracks, I'll kill myself.
I gotta take off, you know what I mean? But don't be nervous. Please always remember, don't ever forget, women put their pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. Unless they're a mermaid. And they never take them off.
Come on, don't make a big deal. It's two young kids getting together on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow. Hello there, pretty young girl.
Hello.
Aren't we a little off the beaten path for jogging?
Well, I'm looking for somebody.
Should be the other way around.
Maybe you know him. Alex Handress?
Oh. But nothing. Don't go away and don't change anything.
Schneider, why are you back?
I am back because I want to see the look on your face when you see what I got in that hallway.
Come on, Schneider, don't play games. Alex's little friend should arrive any minute.
Believe me, Ms. Romano, Alex's little friend has already arrived.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Come on in, Joanne.
Hi. Is Alex here?
My words exactly.
Hi, Joanne. Hi. It's real nice to have you here. And please come in. He's here. Alex! Joanne is here. Please sit down. Joanne, any place would be fine. The couch. That's a real good... How old are you, Joanne?
Alex and I figured it out in homeroom the other day. He's 3 weeks older than me.
He's older?
Sometimes Mother Nature delivers her packages a little early.
Oh, hi. I was just telling Miss Romano and her friend how we're practically the same age, except for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. I'm older.
Yeah. Older. Schneider, why don't you run along, huh?
Yeah, I will, I promise. I want to see the look on one more face. You, Barbara, front and center. Wait,
I don't know what you can get me for
Barbara,
Christmas.
this is Joanne.
That's it. That's what I wanted to see.
Hi, Joanne.
Barbara, Joanne was telling us that she is 3 weeks younger than Alex.
Younger? Yes, ma'am.
So, you want to see my bedroom?
No! What I meant was, Alex, are you sure it's clean?
Yeah, I'm sure. Come on, it's right through here.
What are you worried about, Mom?
You know damn well what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but it's different now. He's not your daughter, he's a boy.
So?
Don't you remember how it goes? Beware what a moment of passion can bring. The girl has a baby, the boy has a fling. You started telling me that when I was 3.
Okay, Barbara, but that's when I had 2 girls to raise. Now I have a very young boy to protect, and I feel... Did you hear what I just said?
You have a very young boy to protect.
Yeah. From what? From a 13-year-old girl. I mean, I took one look at that little kid and decided that she was a...
Barracuda?
Maybe. Actually, she's a very friendly, very pretty young kid. I mean, she didn't say one thing that was out of line.
She called me ma'am.
Ms. R?
Yeah.
Is it okay if Joanne and I go to a movie tonight?
Tonight? Why don't you go now? It's daylight.
It's not daylight inside the show.
Never hit Mom with logic like that. It mixes her up.
Look, of course you can go tonight. Sure.
Oh, terrific. I'll go home and change and come back and pick you up later, Alex.
Great.
Oh, it's been really nice meeting you.
Yeah.
I'll walk to the door. The door. See you later. Bye.
Alex, what did that mean when she said she was going to pick you up? Does she drive, too?
No. But the show's over that way, and she lives over this way. So if I have to pick her up, I have to go over this way and come way back over this way. But if she picks me up, all we do is just keep going.
Aren't you glad you asked?
I think I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
You're worried, right?
Maybe uncomfortable is a better word. So you have the feeling that Alex is launching into something that maybe he's not ready for. And I don't know how a boy thinks and feels.
Would you rather worry about girls again, Mom?
Well, at least I'd be on familiar ground.
I'm going over to Mark's place tonight. Now, he just moved in. So far, all they delivered was the bed.
Thank you, Barbara.
Anytime, Mom.
Barbara, you used to be a girl, right?
Yeah, back in the olden days.
Good. Did you used to touch a guy all the time?
Touch?
Yeah, like this. I'm gonna show you. Even if she's talking about homework, she keeps doing this. Is it okay?
Are we talking about Joanne?
Uh-huh.
Mom? Mom? Can you...
Yep, I'm coming.
Touching. Well, Alex, some people are touchers. Now, it doesn't really mean anything. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't mean anything.
Yes, Barbara's right.
What did she say?
Some people are just naturally affectionate. Like Joanne. She touches.
Am I supposed to touch her, too? I mean, I feel dumb just sitting there.
Well, Alex, you're not a toucher, so I'd have to say no.
Yeah. There are less places on a girl you're allowed to touch anyway. Okay. What about kissing?
What about kissing?
Well, she might kiss me or something. She keeps saying I got great lips.
Kissing. Well, Alex, kissing's fine.
Right. Alex, look, there are no easy answers here. I mean, there's no crash course on kissing and touching.
Okay, how about talking?
I'm going to take talking. I like that one. Talking's easy. I mean, all you have to do is figure out what she's interested in and then just ask her questions.
About anything but touching and kissing.
That's her. I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
You still worried?
Only about the wear and tear on his teeth. I got to tell you, I envy those 2 kids. Yeah. It is such a sweet, innocent time of life.
Hi, is Alex ready?
Hello, could you tell me what time the 7:30 movie let out? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Home so soon?
Yeah, Mark and I both have early days tomorrow. Besides, his apartment is almost empty. I mean, how much time can you spend on a bed? Mom, you're supposed to react to that. What's the matter? Is it Alex? How did things go with Miss Super Sweater?
I don't know. He's not home yet. I was just talking to the theater.
Well, look, it's too early to worry yet. I mean, she didn't say in so many words that she wanted to have his baby.
Oh, Barbara, it's not funny. I just realized a few minutes ago that this is the first day of a lot more of this.
Look, Mom, he's a little bit late getting home from a movie. Maybe they stop for a hamburger. Besides, Mommy's a boy.
Barbara, you want to know something weird? You worry about them just as much. I don't know how to deal with a boy's emerging sexual curiosity, and I am too old to take another walk down puberty lane. Maybe that's Alex. Hello? Oh, Mr. Boyer, I'm real glad you called. Are the kids there? No, they're not here either. Yeah, I'm real upset too, Mr. Boyer, but look, it's only been an hour or so since the movie let out, and maybe they went for hamburger or something. Look, Alex did not maneuver your daughter into anything, okay? Look, let's play it like this, okay? If I hear anything, I'll call you. If you hear anything, you call me. You obviously have my number. Goodbye. The man's an ass.
He actually thought Alex maneuvered Joanne into going to a movie?
Yeah. And you heard me, right? I defended Alex. As the mother of two girls, that is the most unnatural conversation I have ever had.
Look, Mom, what are you worried about? Alex's safety, or maybe that he's messing around?
Worry is worry, Barbara. And I really hate that phrase, messing around. It makes everything seem less important than it is. Alex?
It's Alan Boyer, Mrs. Romano, Joanne's father.
Hi.
Hello. I don't suppose they're here. No, I can see they're not. Okay, where did he take her?
They went to a movie?
Mrs. Romano.
Ms. Romano.
Right. I went by the theater, which, by the way, let out about 2 hours ago, and then I drove around for a while. I see you slept through it all.
Yeah, well, I finally fell asleep.
Sure, you got a boy. Mrs. Romano.
Ms.
I am trying to raise Joanne by myself. Do you have any idea what it's like trying to raise a girl these days?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do, Mr. Boyer. I wrote the book. I could quote you chapter and verse on how to raise
all right.
girls.
Don't get angry. We don't have time for it. Now, where does your kid take his girlfriends? I mean, does he have any special hangouts?
You bet! He takes them all to the Hideaway Motel. As a 13-year-old delinquent, he gets special rates.
I asked you not to get angry.
Well, then let's stop this one-sided conversation before I say something that I'm really going to be sorry about.
One-sided?
Yes, one-sided. Like, let's check out the boy and forget about the girl.
Wait a minute. Is there something you don't like about Joanne?
Oh, look, I don't want to talk about this anymore, okay? We're both upset.
Hey,
so
come on now. You have seen her. That is the sweetest, most open, ingenuous, friendly kid who ever lived.
Fine. Agreed. Look, I'm real tired, so why don't you go...
You know, I really hate people who start an accusation and then back away from it. Why don't you finish what you started, lady? Or don't you have the guts for it?
Okay. Did you happen to notice what your daughter was wearing tonight?
Sure, slacks and a sweater.
She was wearing a sex kit. You stuff all of your parts into something one size too small and then display it to the world. And if you don't turn on every male in sight, money refunded. And if you have a father who is too stupid to notice, you are a very unlucky young woman.
Wow. A sex kit? Who the hell do you think you are to talk to me like that? You're making an innocent 13-year-old girl sound like some kind of a barracuda.
If the fish fits, wear it.
What's going on out here?
Nothing is going on out here, Barbara. I'm standing out here yelling at a total stranger. I'm sorry, Mr. Boyer. I am. I apologize. I was out of line. Would you like some coffee while we're waiting?
Hey, look, are you saying I buy the wrong kind of clothes for Joanne? I mean, that outfit cost me almost $60.
With or without batteries? I'm Barbara. I'm hers.
Well, all right, then you should know. Now, Joanne says all the girls wear those outfits.
Not with the same results.
Look, the point is the kids aren't home, you know? What are we going to do about that?
Okay. Oh, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry.
Schneider!
You must be the father, right? Well, all right. I found the kids. They're okay.
Where are they?
Now, they don't deserve no punishment because they came right home from the movies just like they said they would. They were on the stairwell necking. Just your basic stuff. Necking 101.
Schneider, if you don't tell us where they are right this minute, I'm going to put a contract out on you.
Save your stamp.
Who is that?
Schneider.
Now, remember, before you belt them, you used to be kids once yourself. Come on in. I paved the way for you.
Thanks, Schneider. Alex, do you realize that it has been 2 hours since that movie let out? Wipe your mouth.
You too, Joanne. Wipe your mouth.
I hope you've learned your lesson, young lady. Nice young girls your age do not go necking on stairwells.
Joanne, turn around.
Why?
Just turn around. Oh, boy. When did this happen? All right, tomorrow I'm buying you a new outfit.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Heavy sweatshirt and some baggy bloomers.
Baggy bloomers, you mean hair and pants, Daddy?
No. I mean baggy bloomers. Maybe a gunny sack. We'll talk about it. Mrs. Romano. Ms. Romano. I can't exactly say I enjoyed our little talk, but, well, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Thanks. Bye.
See you Monday. Thanks for the popcorn.
Fine. I'll make the hot chocolate.
How come?
Well, it's a tradition in our home, Alex. Whenever we'd get home from a date, Mom would make hot chocolate, and then we'd sit down and tell her all about it.
Okay, let's talk, Alex.
You gonna yell at me?
It's a distinct possibility. When I give you a curfew, I expect it to be obeyed, and if there's a problem, I expect a call. What do I have to do, sew a dime in your bra like I did with Barbara?
Look, sorry. I really am. I think I'm gonna go to bed now.
Hold it. What were you doing for 2 hours? Alex, talk to me. Alex,
We were kissing.
for 2 hours.
Kissing goes by very fast.
Alex, come here. Listen to me. Important. I want you to know that we're here for you when you need us. You are very loved in this house, okay? Okay? Now, when we were talking about kissing and touching before, I didn't deal with that very well, so right now we are going to have a wide open birds and bees talk that just won't quit.
Nah, that's okay. We'll way past the birds and the bees in school. We'll clear up to social diseases.
Alex, those are the mechanics of sex. Nobody teaches you the emotions of sex. I mean, there's a reason that kissing goes by so fast.
Never mind, Alex. Explain it to me.
Barbara, you know, it's...
Is it okay if I go to bed now?
No, sweetheart, it's not okay. I think it's real important that we discuss this, that we really... Okay. Tomorrow. But tomorrow you are getting the full treatment, Hot Lips, okay?
Terrific. I don't want to make a fool of myself if I ever get married. Good night.
Good night, sweetheart. Oh, sleep good.
Wait. Don't you want your hot chocolate?
I hate hot chocolate. Good night, Barb.
Good night.
Talk to me, Barbara. Talk to me like a girl. Tell me all about your evening with Mark tonight, all the little details. Because I have a feeling that my hot chocolate days are over.
Okay. Well, first of all, kissing goes by real fast.
Here, let me give you a hand with that.
No, that's okay. I can handle it.
Carrying in the groceries is a man's job. So let a man do the job. You can put them away. That's a woman's job.
Right, along with plowing the fields.
There you go.
You know, Schneider, you amaze me the way you can categorize, label, and reduce an entire gender.
Well, it comes mostly from experience. Ooh, shaving cream, huh? Alex must be growing up quicker than I thought.
I picked it up for Mark.
Oh, the new boyfriend.
Oh, that stupid, pig-headed man.
3:15 in the afternoon. Your dates are ending earlier and earlier, ain't they?
I am talking about the stupid, pig-headed man at the bank.
I take it he turned down your loan.
No, he turned me over to a stupid, pig-headed woman who turned down my loan.
How come?
She said, I don't qualify for a business loan. Our company doesn't have collateral.
How come you need a loan? Company going belly up?
No, as a matter of fact, it's the opposite.
Belly down?
Francine and I are going after a national account. At least we were. She has connections with the people over at Georgette Jeans.
Georgette Jeans? Those great new French dungarees made in Taiwan?
Tell you, without that loan, there is no way that we can do a marketing analysis, hire a layout artist and photographer, commission a media expert, let alone that trip to New York. I mean, there is absolutely no way. We need...
I'll get that, Mom. I'm late and I promised Mark that I'd meet him.
Okay. Oh, hi, Barbie.
Hi, Francine. Nice talking to you. Bye.
Hello, partner.
Hello, Francine.
Well, would you believe it? I got out of my car and found a flat tire. Excuse me. What is that cologne you're wearing?
It's just something I splashed on.
Well, whatever it is, you ought to be locked up.
I'll fix your flat.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
If you want to leave it overnight, I'll see if I can check your alternator.
So, Annie, did you get the loan?
No.
No.
What word didn't you understand?
Anne, I have been running my tail off setting up the meeting in New York. All you had to do was go to the bank and get $10,000.
Sorry, we don't have the collateral, and I forgot my gun.
Romano, this is our big chance to put together a big campaign. TV commercials, billboards, radio spots, not to mention dealing with $1 million budget.
$1 million?
Yes, $1 million. And we would have made a $150,000 commission.
They want to pay you two women that kind of money? And all they want is your brains?
Who knows how many other accounts this one would have brought in?
Oh, damn banks. They all sound so friendly on the radio. There must be some way that we can raise that $10,000.
I got $10,000.
Francine, no.
Oh, Annie, really? What makes you think for a moment I would even consider borrowing the money from Dwayne?
Miss Romano, as a man, I know about investments, and I have already decided to get in on this deal. But I don't mind being worked on.
Good boy.
We are not borrowing money from Schneider.
Nonsense. We would love to take his money.
We're not talking take. We are not talking borrowing. We are talking investing. I want a piece of the action. 50% of the Georgette Jeans account.
5%.
30%.
5.
10.
6.
Deal.
No deal. Schneider, I can't gamble with your money. You don't borrow money from a friend.
Come on, will you? I've already missed out on Xerox, IBM, and the Pet Rock. I want to in.
Oh, Annie.
Schneider, look, you just don't understand. There are a lot of risks involved here. I can't be responsible for your life savings.
My life. My life. Mr. Romano, what kind of a fool you think I am? The thing is, that's only a piece of the pie. I own the title to my camper. I have a lovely lot on Lake Havasu. I bought gold at a good price, and I got another $30,000 tied up solid as the rock.
Well, I didn't realize. No, but look,
Mr.
Schneider...
Romano, you don't understand. 6.5 years ago, you wandered in here divorced, jobless, with no apparent skills. Let's face it, your life was in the gutter. I gave you maybe 6 months a year to the outside, but somehow you clawed your way back up. You're going places, Romano, and I want to hitch my star to your wagon.
So what you're saying is that this is strictly business?
Strictly business. You might say I'm bullish on Romano.
That's nice. I'm touched. Okay, Schneider, it's a deal.
Hey, we got a deal, right? The three of us partners.
I like this. Listen to this. If you're looking for beauty, it's all in the genes.
I think that's marvelous for 8 a.m. Of course, now it is 11:45.
So what have you done?
Well, I arranged studio time for the TV demo. I hired a photographer and a media expert. I arranged interviews with the models.
Oh, I have another one. Give him you, gift-wrapped in Georgette jeans.
I made reservations for the hotel in New York, and I sent out for lunch 2 tuna salads and 2 Diet Colas.
Hello. Why? I was just in the neighborhood, so I thought I would stop by.
Oh.
Of course, if you're busy, I can come back later.
No, Sean, that's okay.
Sure?
Oh, no problem. Romano's not doing anything anyway.
Well, we won't stay long.
We?
Come on in, guys.
Hey, Schneider, this is some beautiful office you got here.
Roscoe, Jerry, I'd like you to meet Ann Romano, Francine Webster.
Hey, oh, you're an equal opportunity employer, huh?
Now, these two are my partners.
Schneider, it is really nice to meet your friends. Hi. But we do have work to do.
Oh, hey, listen, we ain't gonna bother you. You go ahead, do your work.
Thanks.
Want some coffee?
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Miss Romano, could you...
Gentlemen, Ms. Romano and I have an awful lot of work to do. And somehow we just can't seem to concentrate with all of you big, strong, handsome men in the room. I'm sure you understand.
Oh, hey, yes. Sure.
We'll see you later, Schneid. A pleasure to meet you, Miss Francine. You too, Ms. Romano.
That's it.
See you down at the lodge, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for butting in. It was just I was down at the lodge, and I mentioned, I was in advertising.
Yeah, sure. Schneider, we understand, but it is a little difficult trying to get some work done with people running in and out all the time.
Absolutely. Besides, which what do I know about advertising, right?
Right.
I mean, look at this here. I think that's awful, but obviously you ladies disagree.
Well, no, as a matter of fact, Schneider, you're right. That's why we tossed it.
Yep, better to eat the $1,000 than to go with something we're not happy with.
$1,000? This thing cost $1,000?
Yes, it did.
Well, I mean, it's not really too bad. You put some glue on it.
Schneider, forget it, okay? It's out.
Let me explain it to you this way, Dwayne. Business is like love. You try something, it doesn't work, you try something else.
Yeah. I guess you got to spend money to make money. It's an old business epitaph. Wait a second. Now, hold on. What's going on here? I mean, that's a good pencil. What are we throwing pencils away for? You ever hear of Exxon throwing away pencils?
Schneider, pencils? Have you ever heard of the term silent partner?
Miss Romano, I got an investment here. And I have a stockholder's right and duty, yes, duty, to speak up.
Yes, of course you do, Dwayne. A man's point of view is exactly what we need.
Thank you.
So, why don't you go home and write down all of your ideas, and then in a couple of days, I'll tell you what, we'll have brunch.
Brunch? I never had brunch.
You'll love it.
Yeah, well, see, I mean, the thing is, man sees woman jeans from an entirely different angle, you know what I mean? Now, look here, you see, you're trying to sell butts, but you got to use more bosom.
Bosom does not sell pants to women.
Oh, are you kidding?
Right.
You ever squeeze a balloon? Tight at the bottom, the bigger the top. Wow, wow, wow.
That is the stupidest, most idiotic, most chauvinistic statement I have ever heard.
Of course, if you're unlucky, you could get thick ankles. Wow, wow.
Look, Schneider, we have to be in New York in a week. We have a deadline to make. Now, you hitched your star to my wagon, so why don't you just sweat it out with the rest of us? Please, just go home.
All right. I'll leave. I'm not going home.
Hi, Annie.
Mark.
Is Barbara ready? I'm going to drop her off at work.
Yes, I'm ready.
Hi. Jealous, huh?
Maybe.
How's that?
Not the same.
I found this tacked to your door.
It's from Schneider. Dear Ms. Romano, even though you are not too open-minded, how about this? Orson Welles is wearing a pair of Georgette jeans in a laundromat, and he says, I will wear no jeans before they're clean.
Have a good day.
Okay, we will.
Bye. Oh, hello, Schneider.
Barb, hold it a second, will you? I'd like to have a man-to-man talk.
Well, sure. What do you want to talk about? Okay, I'll get the elevator.
I just want you to know I approve of you and Barbara going together.
Oh, thank you. Is that it?
No, I just want to say that I think it's nice that you two are getting very close. Well, I was just wondering if in one of those warm, tender moments that you and Barbara have had, if perchance she might have said anything about her mother saying words like broke, abscond, South America.
No, mostly we don't talk about her mother during those tender, loving moments.
Well, I think that's appropriate. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. I got it. Midgets.
What?
There's 100,000 little people in this country, and they all want to wear designer jeans. Okay, here's the thing. If you're short on legs, Georgette jeans is long on style.
That leaves me speechless.
I'm going down to the laundry room to get my cords.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, wait a second. Cords? You wear cords?
Huh? I just bought them.
You see that, Miss Advertising Genius? The whole country's switching to cords.
One kid is the whole country. Schneider, what the hell is wrong with you?
Nothing, will you? Forget it.
Boy, I'll tell you, I've never seen you act so worried in all my life. You'd think that $10,000 was all the money you have in the world. Oh, my God. me that money was just a piece of the pie. You said you had land at Lake Havasu.
I did. Now it's in Lake Havasu.
All right, what about all that gold?
The gold?
Yeah.
Well, the gold is...
The other $30,000?
It's a life insurance policy. I gotta die to collect it.
Damn, Schneider, if I would have known that was all the money you had in the world, I never would have borrowed it.
Well, you know me. What right did you have to believe me?
Okay, Schneider, just pray our presentation goes well.
Pray? That's where it's at? In the hands of God? Oh, terrific. You got it, big guy. Lots of luck.
Schneider, I have a great deal of confidence. Now, we're flying to New York in a couple of hours.
Flying? To take a bus. What's wrong with a nice little bus?
Relax, okay? I really...
All right, I'll relax. But do me a favor, will you?
Sure.
You get to New York, you handle the money and not Francine.
Why?
'Cause I trust you. And you're less likely to get molested. Where's your mother? Her plane from New York landed 40 minutes ago.
Schneider, she will be here, and she probably won't know any more than when she called from New York. They're not going to say yes just like that.
In other words, don't call us, we'll call you.
Will you please just sit down? You're going bananas.
I am not going bananas.
Bananas.
Maybe you're right. Should have never gotten into this crazy deal.
Then why did you?
Because you get to be my age, not that I'm old. You start wondering about what's going to happen to your money. I mean, we got taxes, inflation. You can't make nothing on a savings account. And now Social Security's in the dumper. Now you take a risk. Try to hit it all on one big shot. Me, like a dumbbell. I sink all my money into some fly-by-night advertising agency.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Mom. How was your flight?
Well, as a matter of fact, it was really very nice. It was smooth, and the food was good. And I even sat next to a very personable man on the plane. And wait. Hi, Schneider. Until you see these wonderful boots that I bought.
I don't want to see boots. Am I broke or not?
Schneider, I don't know yet.
Well, when will you know?
I don't know. I mean, could be today, could be next month.
Could be next year. My life insurance going to pay off quicker than this.
Hey, Schneider, give me a break, okay? We were not the only agency vying for that account.
There was another... You never said there was another agency. You never said... Oh, my God. Was it run by men?
That does it. That finally does it.
Now, come on. You guys are too good of friends to fight over money.
We used to be friends. How could I let myself be conned into this?
You're saying that I conned you? You were the one who said you had land at Lake Havasu. You were the one who said you had gold. You said you had $30,000. You lied to me, Schneider. You are not a love person. You are not a people person. You are a money person. Here, take your damn check.
No, dude. When I make a deal, I keep it. $2,000? That's all that's left?
We spent the rest.
On shoes, on boots, on clothes.
Schneider, I will pay you back with interest.
Forget it, my dear woman. Men do not welch on deals.
Who cares? Now, Schneider, either accept this check in the cheerful way it is given, or never walk through that door again.
Let me see if I understand this. Either I accept that check,
In the cheerful way it is given.
or I never come through that door again.
That's right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Good day, madam.
Good day.
Break out the best crystal.
We got the account.
Oh, right. The message was on my tape when I got home. We did it!
Oh, congratulations! We got a national account! Schneider, Under the circumstances, I think it's perfectly all right if you want to buy right in and take your profit.
Oh, no, Annie, forget the profits for now. We have to plow them right back in the business. They are willing to let us handle their whole line if we come up with the right campaign.
Ooh. Are you willing to take that gamble?
I already told them we would. And why not? We could win it all.
Or you could lose it all.
Yes, Barbara, that's right. But you can't get anywhere in this life unless you take chances.
I say let's go for it.
Great! I'm with you. Schneider, you with us?
Would love to be with you. But as it happens, my investment broker has informed me my portfolio needs some diversification. So what I'm going to do is I'll take back my principal and a little interest and maybe a little bonus, and I think I'll just
bail out.
Geronimo.
Mom, which coat do you want to take on your trip? Your burgundy or your tan?
Oh, surprise me, honey. I trust you. But not the burgundy. Here it's going to be really cold in New York. There. I finally found out, after all these years, the secret to packing for a trip.
Really? What's that?
Throw in everything you own. Barbara, I want you to know something. I'm really proud of you.
Well, thank you. What for?
Because I know that I can leave you for a few days and not have to worry about you at all, even though there is ample opportunity for wild parties, drinking, young men, and God knows what else.
Please. I'm not going to have time for any of that good stuff. Grandma Cooper's coming to visit for an entire week.
I know, darling, and she is really a very nice woman. Deep down. Probably. She's just...
Your ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah, and you are going to have to apologize your head off for me. Make sure that she knows that I just absolutely had to go to New York for this business meeting, you know? And it's a shame. I mean, it's tough luck that I will just miss her.
Yeah, it really is a shame. You could take a later flight. I didn't think so. But everything will be okay. It's just that every time Grandma Cooper comes to visit, we seem to just sit around and look at each other and think of the same two words, generation gap. I never seem to have that problem with Grandma Romano.
Oh, that's because my mother always tries so hard to be one of the girls. Even when I stopped, she didn't.
You know, I think Grandma Cooper's never really looked at me.
Now, honey, don't exaggerate.
No, really, I'm not exaggerating. I remember once when she came to visit, she brought me one of those paint the clown by the number sets. I was 16.
Oh, honey, I think if you try to warm up to her, she'll warm up to you. Try?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, bye. I'll call you from New York.
Okay.
Try to make her feel welcome.
Mom, I am going to make her feel so welcome, she won't ever want to leave.
Don't overdo it.
Grandma Romano!
Hey, this is wonderful. Hey, honey, you know, we really ought to spend more time with each other.
Oh, come on, Grandma. We see each other practically every day.
Yeah. Hey, has Anne left yet?
Yeah, she left a couple hours ago.
Oh, good. She's getting to be an old fuddy-duddy anyway. Hey, why don't we do something? We can let our hair down, go a little nutty, maybe take in a movie.
Oh, I'd love to, but I can't. I'm waiting for Grandma Cooper.
Grandma Cooper?
Well, yeah, she's coming to visit. As a matter of fact, I thought that we might all take in a movie.
Barbara, that hug you gave me was not my hug.
Yes, it was. It wasn't, but I will.
There. That's the bloodless hug I'm used to.
Please don't make me feel guilty, Grandma.
Oh, honey, I don't feel bad. I mean, it's only natural for you to favor one grandmother over the other. There has to be an Avis grandmother and a Hertz grandmother. I'll just try harder.
You're not going to make me say which one of you I like better, are you?
Well, I think I better get going.
Okay, Grandma, you're hurts, okay?
Oh, I'm hurt. That helps.
Oh, you're so silly. Hello? Oh, hi, Grandma Cooper. Where are you? Oh, okay. Okay, then I'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. She had a little car trouble, but she should be here in a couple hours. Should give me time to think of something to talk about.
Well, you never have any trouble talking. You're a Romano.
Oh, it's never as easy to talk to her as it is to you.
Really? Well, you have to give her a chance. See, honey, now that I'm a widow... Besides, I certainly can't be jealous of her spending a rare weekend with her granddaughter.
Oh, she's staying a week, not a weekend.
A week? What for? That wasn't me, just my mouth. A weekend, a month. It'll be good for her. And it'll be good for you, too. You'll get to know each other. And I'll leave you completely alone to do it.
Can you do me a favor before you go into exile? Stop over here in a couple of hours and kind of help me break the ice. After that, I'll be fine.
Oh, Barbara, you're asking me to intrude.
Please intrude.
Well, all right. But I'm so out of practice.
Grandma
Barbara.
Cooper. Hi, come on in.
You look marvelous.
And you look terrific. I've never seen you look better.
Oh, it's nothing several $100s of carefully selected makeup and designer clothes couldn't do for any beat-up warhorse.
Oh, some warhorse.
Let me take a good look at you. I think something's happened since I last saw you. You got... Well, let me put it this way. You got.
Oh, well. Nothing a couple years of junk food can't do for any teenager.
There's the difference. On you, the designer puts his signature where someone will notice it. When you're my age, they hide it in the lining.
Oh.
So, your mother ducked out on me again.
Oh, yeah, she really had to go to New York on business. She wanted me to apologize to you.
Oh, she should apologize to you, leaving her child alone to face a cranky old-timer.
You're not cranky.
So I'm an old-timer, am I?
No, you're not an old-timer.
Barbara, listen.
What?
What we're doing, those sounds. I think it's called making conversation.
I think you're right.
It's not no old coward, but it's the best we've managed in years. I wonder why that was.
I don't know.
Oh, kids were always a mystery to me. My policy was keep children at a distance. You never know when they might spit up on you.
Well, I promise to be careful.
I think the danger's past.
Oh, I hope so.
Before I forget, I brought you something.
Oh, no, Grandma, you don't have to buy me something every time you come to visit.
No, my mother gave this to me. Her mother gave it to her, and I think her mother gave it to her. I didn't have a daughter, and it didn't look good on your father.
Oh, Grandma, this is beautiful. Oh, I feel honored.
Oh, I thought it should pass on from one lovely person to another.
Oh, thank you.
Now, let's go out and buy a blouse to go with it.
No. No, there's not going to be any shopping if you're going to be spending a fortune on me like you always do.
Barbara, it would make me very happy to buy you a simple silk blouse. Are you going to begrudge me that pleasure?
Well, all right. But only to make you happy.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh,
I was
Grandma,
in the neighborhood.
hi. It's nice to see you, but everything's really going terrific. I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it can't be that terrific. It's only me, Estelle.
Catherine.
I just wanted to drop this off for Ann and Barbara. Besides, it gave me an excuse to come over and say hello.
A dustpan?
Grandma, that's very thoughtful. Thank you. Well, aren't I lucky? Two super grandmothers together in the same room.
Barbara, you make that sound like a segment out of That's Incredible.
Well. It's nice.
Yeah, well.
You know what we need?
What?
We need some wine. I think this occasion calls for a toast.
You're not old enough to drink. She is so.
too.
There, it's settled.
You look wonderful, Estelle. And what a cute outfit.
Thank you.
It's so wise to wear something sensible and inexpensive when you're traveling.
Here we go. Nothing like a fine Beaujolais, and this wine is nothing like it.
Isn't this nice?
Yes.
You're not on any medication, are you, dear?
Two old friends.
Perfect.
Two old.
Is there a mannequin left in this town that is not stark naked?
If you'll both excuse me, I'm going to take a little nap. I'm really bushed.
Word is spent.
But well spent. See you soon.
Okay, I'll wake you for dinner.
Good.
Schneider, I'm worried.
What's the matter? Didn't you try any of this on?
About Grandma Romano. We were shopping for about an hour, and all of a sudden I turned around and she was gone.
Wait a second. Hold it. You left here with two grandmothers, and you came back here to this apartment with one grandmother?
Come on, don't make me feel bad. I mean, have you ever been in the middle between two grandmothers?
Well, I once had a 72-hour pass in Veracruz. What can I tell you? It was my good deed for the year. That's the door.
Why don't you get it?
I'll get it.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this? It's heavy, very, very heavy. What do you
What's
want?
going on? This is supposed to be some sort of mistake.
Barbara Cooper?
Yes?
It's all yours.
What is... I don't...
Did you-
But I didn't order anything like this.
There you go.
Yeah, hold it right there. I had to capture that look for posterity.
Grandma, what's going on?
Remember how you always wanted an electric organ?
No. When did I always want one?
When you turned 8 years old. Happy 8th birthday, Barbara.
Wow. You know how lucky you are? When most people hear one of these things, they're either roller skating or in a casket.
Yeah. Lucky. It is beautiful. But, Grandma, you can't afford this.
I can so.
I don't even know how to play one.
I'll teach
He'll
you.
teach you.
This is the instrument of the masters.
What's all this racket? Where did this thing come from?
Just a little something that I picked up for Barbara.
Isn't there a monkey that goes with it?
What do you mean by that?
When it comes to my Barbara, I'm a firm believer that it's quality, not quantity that counts.
Did you see the lovely two-piece bathing suit Barbara got today?
Oh, well, it's very dainty.
And light. Just the right weight for Hawaii.
Hawaii?
That's right, Hawaii. Where Barbara and I are going to spend the most relaxing 2 weeks either one of us has ever had, away from all of life's little irritations.
You can't mean it. I mean, you don't really mean Hawaii.
I mean every syllable.
Oh, Grandma, you are wonderful. That's incredible. I've been dying to go to Hawaii. Well, not dying, actually. More like immensely curious.
Oh, you love it, Barbara. We'll visit 3 islands. Maui, Kauai, and Oahu.
Oh, 3 islands. That sounds incredible. And tiring. It sounds very tiring. Aloha and welcome to Fantasy Island. Oh, hi, Mom. You're never going to believe this, but Grandma Cooper bought me this beautiful bathing suit. It's just the right weight for Hawaii and Kauai. And how's everything in the Big Apple? What do you mean? I just had one little sip of wine. What don't you understand? Oh, okay. She wants to talk to somebody on Earth.
How are you, Annie, dear? Yes, she's a little hyper.
Yeah, I hear that Hawaii is very crowded this time of year.
Well, we're going to Hawaii. Just the 2 of us.
Joyce Rappaport went there last year and got 2nd-degree sunburn, had her purse stolen, and almost choked on a macadamia nut.
All right, dear, don't work too hard. Here's Barbara again.
Well, Mom, you heard her. Her mind's made up. Yes, okay. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Give my regards to Broadway.
Give my regards to Broadway.
Why didn't you let me say something to her?
Oh, she really was busy.
I understand. She probably didn't even know I was here.
Oh, Grandma, no.
I understand perfectly. There certainly wasn't time to mention one tiny word about the organ.
No, Grandma, I'm sorry.
Or you probably just forgot that it was here. I mean, after all, it's just sitting right here in front of you like a pile of discarded $100 bills.
Now, Catherine, Barbara was not trying to insult you.
Really? Well, you should know you are the insult expert.
Could I see you in the hall?
Yeah, sure. Excuse me, ladies. I'll be back in a while with a song and a smile until then. So long. You want to see me in the hall?
Yes, and you look wonderful out there. You're acting like you're 2 years old.
She certainly is, Barbara. Why don't you send her to her room?
I mean the both of you. I love you both, but I really hate the way you're behaving and the way you're making me behave. Now, Grandma Romano.
Not now, Barbara. We have a lot of things to say to each other.
Now, Catherine.
Grandma Cooper.
Barbara, please don't interrupt.
Sit down. Now, both of you, please.
Oh, wow. There's that Cooper blood in her.
Hold it. Both of you. I'm sorry, but somehow I feel like all this is my fault. You're both trying to buy my love. I mean, this is all some sort of game, isn't it? To see which one can outspend the other? I don't care about the gifts. I care about you. Now, Grandma Romano, Grandma Cooper, not necessarily in that order. I just want one thing from you.
What's that?
You figure it out. When you do, call me. I'm not coming back until you do. If it takes forever.
Forever is never having to say I'll see you.
Well, nice going, Estelle. Gee.
Nice tone.
Yes.
Nice organ.
Thank you. Nice tune.
Yes.
You play well.
Thanks.
If you push this other stop in, you get a completely different tone.
Organ music. That's ominous.
Well, at least you know they're not dusting each other to death.
True. I suppose I should go back in there.
Yeah, well, I'll wait out here since you think I look better in the hall.
You do.
Okay, Phil, Oh, Barbara, honey, we are so sorry.
You are?
You were so right.
I was.
Yes, about forcing these gifts on you.
We shouldn't do that.
Oh, but I appreciate
No, honey, everything is working out perfectly.
it. Is.
Yes, oh, Barbara. Honey, I know you really didn't want this silly old organ, and you were just too polite to say so. So that's why I've decided to take it back to pay for my trip.
What trip?
Well, Estelle and I are going to go to Hawaii together.
I know you didn't want to spend 2 weeks in Hawaii with a cranky old bat. I'm taking you off the hook.
But,
Isn't it wonderful? Catherine and I just discovered we have more in common than just you.
Yes, there's Harry James.
And Greta Garbo.
And nickel phone calls.
And nickel ice cream cones.
Yes, and Gussie Moran.
And Carl Hubble and Father Divine. Yeah.
Hey, do you remember Three Little Fishies, huh?
Boom, boom, did-em, da-dum, wa-dum, choo. A boom, boom, did-em, da-dum, wa-dum, choo. A boom, boom, did-em, da-dum, wa-dum, choo. And they bam all over the jam. Ding, and fishes and lolly the bang. Sting, and quill, and the mama the bang.
Good evening, Miss Romano.
What's Barbara still doing here? I thought you were going to send her out on an errand.
Yeah, I was, but we got so busy I haven't been able to. But the birthday cake arrived. I hid it in the storeroom behind the Frisbees.
Good. Mr. Scuba, would you get her out of here, please? The others are going to be here any minute.
Barbara, would you run that down to the mailbox for me?
Oh, sure, Mr. Erskine.
Thanks.
Oh, Mr. Erskine, why don't I just drop this off on my way home?
Well, now do it now, huh? Please.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Erskine. Isn't it a little bit too late for a pickup now?
Not to Cleveland. They passed a special law about Cleveland. Don't you watch 60 Minutes?
I guess I missed that one. Oh, forgot my jacket.
I'll get it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mr. Erskine.
She's gone. It's okay.
Thank God. I think I was getting shorter.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay, really.
Boy, it is colder than a witch's...
Mom! I'd like you to meet Mr. Erskine, the manager. This is my mother. This is Mr. Schneider.
Hi, everybody. Hey, you better get in the storeroom.
Yeah, we're really going to surprise her this time. She's never going to expect to find us in here.
No, hurry up. Here she comes.
Whoa.
Well, that was quick.
Oh, yeah, neither rain nor sleet nor muggers in the night.
Well, I gotta get home.
Okay.
My wife called. I forgot her mother is coming to dinner. I always forget when her mother's coming to dinner.
Okay, I'll lock up.
Oh, great. Now, and before you leave, go in the storeroom and do a quick inventory of that shipment that came in today, huh?
Okay.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hi, can I help you?
No, I think I'll just look around for a minute, thanks.
Okay, if you need anything, just yell.
Okay, thanks. Gee, not very busy, are you?
No, afraid we're not. We're just about to close up.
Oh. Do you know anything about fishing tackle?
No, not very much, I'm afraid.
Is anybody else here who could help me?
No, I'm sorry.
Good, because this is a stick-up. Now, don't yell, and don't scream, and maybe you won't get hurt.
Is that real?
You want to hear it go boom?
Look, please, mister, don't hurt me.
Now, girlie, I'm not going to hurt you unless you do something stupid.
Good point.
Say hello to my friends. Charlie, Sam, Charlie, lock the door.
Right.
Okay? Now, open up the cash register. Come on.
Here you go.
Put all the money in there. Come on, come on, come on. I don't have all day. What's in there?
Oh, that's just the storeroom.
You sure?
Positive. I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. If I did, you might,
Yeah. I'm gonna put you in that storeroom while we clean this place out.
Okay.
Sam, pull the van up in front of the door. And you just keep behaving yourself. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Yes, sir.
What the hell is this?
What do you think it is, Nitty? It's a surprise party. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Barbara. Happy birthday to you. What do you want? A little higher key? Okay. Happy birthday. What?
It's a holdup.
Oh, my God.
There's 3 of them.
Barbara, you okay? You hurt?
I'm okay, just scared.
Hey, nobody gonna get hurt unless you try to become heroes. And then you get hurt. And I mean dead hurt.
Oh,
Oh, and, by the way, happy birthday, Barbara.
that's nice.
Are you all right?
Oh, God, it was awful. I mean, he just came in there and he pointed that gun at me. I mean, you read about these things in the papers, but you never think it's gonna happen to you.
I know, sweetheart, I know. God, this is insane. What's happening to this country? Crazy people running around with guns.
You're not safe anywhere.
Now, wait a second. Let's just calm down. Don't nobody panic. All right. As the only man here with any battle experience, I better plan a strategy.
What strategy?
Strategy to escape.
Escape? If we try to escape, they'll kill us.
Just forget it, Schneider.
Now, wait a second. I remember once in Tangiers, you see that.
With all due respect to man's natural role as leader and protector.
Just saying that we gotta think carefully, we gotta think clearly.
And I am saying we've got to do whatever we have to do to stay alive.
Oh, chicken.
Grandma?
Your mother always was afraid. I remember every Halloween she was so afraid of the ghosts and goblins I never got to go trick-or-treating.
All I'm saying is we should just wait for help.
Or until they come back to kill us.
Well, I can't do that. That's not in me. I can't just hang around. You got any weapons in here? There any...
Right on. Listen, if they come in, we'll pound them until their bells ring.
Terrific. We'll kill them 21 to 14.
Look, don't you have any bows and arrows? Any bazookas?
No! Stop playing John Wayne. I had a gun held up against my back. I can still feel it. Do you know how frightening that is? Those guys mean business.
Okay, okay. Now, how are we going to get out of here? Where is Superman when you really need him?
Wait a minute. He's on his way.
Superman?
Bob Morton.
What happened to Clark Kent?
He had a late class.
Clark Kent?
Bob Morton. But he should be here any minute. When he gets here, if they're still here, he'll see them and he'll call the police.
And if they're gone, Bob can let us out.
Exactly.
I think I feel a little bit better.
Oh, this is terrific. We're going to be rescued by a forestry major who plays the tuba.
Barbara, honey, this whole mess is my fault. I insisted that we do something unusual for your birthday this year.
Well, you succeeded.
Look, we're stuck here, so we might as well make the best of it. Why don't we have some birthday cake, okay? Come on, Schneider, help me. Look, sweetheart, this is your favorite.
Mom, how can you think of cake?
Oh, Annie, come on, don't be a party pooper.
Grandma, it's very nice. Thank you. Schneider, do you want the first piece?
We're prisoners in here. I don't want any cake.
It's Dutch chocolate with custard filling.
Okay. Probably be good for our morale, have a piece of... Oh, but before we have any cake, let's, here we go. Let's toast the birthday girl.
What is that, Schneider?
This is champagne.
A 6-pack of champagne?
Great value, plain wrap. Yeah. Okay, to Barbara, on her 20th birthday, may she lead a long and happy life, and may she reach her 21st birthday.
Oh, Schneider, please.
May you reach your 39th birthday.
Schneider, could you give me a
May I reach my 39th birthday.
39.
Happy birthday,
birthday.
sweetheart.
Happy birthday, love.
What a birthday. Stuck in this place by people we've never seen before. Why did they do this?
Well, now listen, maybe the police will catch them.
Oh, yeah. Police will catch them. They'll get out of jail faster than we'll get out of this room.
Listen, I haven't heard a sound for a while. Maybe they're gone.
Think so?
Yeah, well, if I were them, I'd be on my way to Alaska. Unless I remembered I'd left behind some witnesses who could...
Thanks, Mom.
All right. That does it. Open up. Come on. We want to talk to you guys. Come on, open up.
They're going to hear you.
I know they're going to hear me. What do you think I'm banging on them for? Come on. I want to talk to you guys.
Shut up. You'll make them mad.
Man?
Oh, I wish I'd taken that self-defense class. Now, everybody stand behind Schneider.
Behind.
Mom.
Dwayne.
Hi, everyone.
Oh. Oh, thank God it's you.
Are they gone?
Oh, you wouldn't have believed that gunman. He was so ugly, horrible, disgusting. But nice. Very nice.
Well, happy birthday, Barb.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Listen, wait a second. I want to talk to you for a minute, okay? I mean, we're walking out of here one way or the other, and that's it.
Jackass. Now, I've only shot one person in my life, but you could be number 2 real easy. Now, you sit down and shut your mouth. Charlie and Sam, tie them all up.
Okay. Now I know what a turkey feels like at Thanksgiving.
At least I can get some exercise. I don't really need it.
Oh, this is like a bad dream, and I'm riding for help.
Well, Schneider, I guess you told them, huh? How you feel? You happy now?
I'm having a ball.
My 20th birthday, and I may never get out of here. Thanks, Mom.
What?
Wait, you said. Wait, Barbara.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea.
Well, I waited. Now I'm gonna die a virgin.
Hey, Barb, maybe we could... No. Just a crazy thought. Wild, wonderful crazy thought.
Oh, my Lord, this is awful. This is terrible.
What's the matter, Mom?
We missed our reservation at the Escoffier room. Oh, Barbara, honey, that was part of your surprise.
The Escoffier room? Oh, I want to get out of here. We're never gonna get out of here. And I never got to see Paris in the springtime.
I never even got to Ohio for the Buzzard Festival.
Bob, you're an incurable romantic.
I know. Hey, Barb, I may never get another chance to say this, so... Well, you know how I've always felt about you.
Bob, I've always liked you.
Barbara, I still fantasize about you.
Bob.
It's always a warm spring night. The sky's full of stars.
Bob, please.
It's exciting.
Bob.
There we are.
Bob!
Playing miniature golf.
Miniature golf? That's your fantasy?
Well, that's one I can talk about.
It You're putting me on, right?
Yeah, had you going there for a minute, didn't I?
Well, hello, gang. Everything okay in here?
Oh, Peachy.
Yeah, we're just sitting around.
Well, we've been so busy, we forgot something.
What?
Your wallets and purses? Yeah, you're right.
Hey, listen, are you guys almost done out there? If I don't get my dad's car home, I could be in real trouble.
You should leave me my membership card down at the lodge, huh?
You know, I'm real happy with the way you've all been behaving yourselves. You can tell.
How?
You're still alive. You just relax, enjoy yourselves. We won't be here much longer.
That's what Russia told Afghanistan. Bob, wait, Bob, I'm coming. Bob, wait a minute. Are you all right? Are you all right?
Okay, I'm somewhat claustrophobic.
You're afraid of Santa Claus?
I'm sorry, I just can't stand tight places. I can't breathe.
Well, is there anything we can do?
Anything we can do to help?
Yeah, don't breathe so much. Save air.
The best thing is to get your mind off it, okay? Barbara, honey, blow out the candles.
Yeah, they're burning up my oxygen.
They're not even lit anymore.
Well, pretend.
Yeah, okay, make a wish. Good. You mean besides wishing to be alive tomorrow?
Make a nice wish, honey. Something very personal and secret.
You got them all.
Okay. What was it?
It's personal and secret, Grandma.
Okay, don't tell me. You're as stubborn as your mother.
What does that mean?
You never would eat your beets when you were little.
Beets?
She was so stubborn. You know, I can remember she sat there at the dinner table and she refused to swallow her beets. They were all stuffed up in her cheeks. She looked like a chipmunk.
You know, Mom, I don't think anybody's interested in beets.
I have a theory, you know. It was the lack of beets that's responsible for her being so short.
Can we drop it with the damn beets?
Well, excuse me. If you'd eaten your beets, you wouldn't be so grouchy.
I don't believe this. I really don't believe this. I really don't believe this. There are 3 gunmen out there, and we are sitting in here talking about beets.
All right, now we're all getting a little uptight.
Nobody's uptight.
So just follow my advice. Everybody take some nice, deep breaths. Calm us down. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Stop that! You're taking my air!
What's your air doing over here?
He can't help it.
Look at his nostrils. They're like wind tunnels. Stealing our air.
Hey! I got my hands free!
Mom!
Untie me first!
Quiet, they'll hear. Wait a second, if they were still out there, they would have heard us by now.
Those guys have split.
They're gone.
Quick, everybody make some noise. Maybe somebody will hear us.
Grandma, come on, give it up. There's no sense yelling or anything anymore. It's been way over an hour.
Really? Hell.
You know, I think 2 of these wires are connected to that big sign outside. Now, if I can break the circuit, I can flash an SOS.
Do you know Morse code?
Oh, yeah, he can never keep a secret.
My dad will never believe this.
I think these are the 2.
Oh,
listen, light a match. Will you light a match? I can't see.
Snyder, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just can't see the wires. Please help me, will you? Will you help me, please? Turn the lights on. Get it. Thank you.
Snyder, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You were afraid of the dark.
What? You were afraid of the dark? Yes, I was. I guess I'm not too much different than Bob here in some ways. I mean, you know, being in the dark just give me the willies.
It's okay, Schneider. Lots of kids are afraid of the dark.
Well, I still sleep with the nightlight on.
Yeah, me too.
See, I grew up in a real rough neighborhood, you know. When I was just a little baby, 2, 3 years of age, go to bed at night and hear all these sirens, sirens, and it was always coming closer to me, and I always felt that something, I don't know, a monster was gonna grab me right in the middle of the night, you know.
Oh, I know how you must have felt.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten any sleep at all if it wasn't my father. He used to sing me to sleep with a nice little lullaby.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. Anchors away. Anchors away.
He sang you Anchors Away?
Yeah, he loved that song. I did too. I guess maybe that's why I joined the Navy, you know? Of course, it did cause some problems. I mean, whenever we went out on parade, I'd fall asleep. I want to apologize, Bob, for calling you chicken.
Oh, it's okay. I've had some thoughts about you, too.
We've got to do something. We got to do something.
Honey, it's all right. It's all right. We're all scared to death.
Oh, all this crime just terrifies me. It makes me so damn mad. I don't know. I got to do something. Get involved. Form a neighborhood watch. I don't know.
Vigilante.
Something.
That's what we should form. Vigilante.
They're here again.
It's them.
I've about had this.
Right. Enough is
All right,
enough.
let's get some weapons. Come on.
Yes.
We're going to show those guys. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Come on. All right.
Mr. Erskine.
Oh,
Are you all right?
yeah, now we are.
The police are here. Those crooks got away with about half my store. But if you're willing to give description...
We'll give description.
We'll tell you exactly what he was like.
Yeah, 10 of them. You never said anything.
Come on, honey. Let's go home.
We're out.
I want to tell y'all something. Schneider, Bob, Grandma, Mom, I just want you all to
Oh,
know.
honey, it's not necessary
No,
to say
yes, it is necessary. I just want you all to know that this has been the worst birthday of my entire life.
It has been terrible. Honey, I think this all...
There are certain moments in the history of American television that arrive so quietly they almost escape notice only to reveal themselves later as the precise hinge upon which an entire emotional world turns. The opening sequence of this composite script from One Day at a Time is one of those moments. It begins not with a grand declaration or a swelling musical cue but with the ordinary clatter of domestic interruption. A telephone ringing in the middle of what should have been a peaceful afternoon, a voice on the other end half laughing and half confessing, and the sudden irreversible knowledge that a boy named Alex has acquired a girl named Joanne. What follows is a master class in the delicate art of sitcom revelation, a scene so deceptively light that its deeper currents of parental anxiety, adolescent vulnerability, and found family affection can be felt only if one sits very still and listens with the heart as much as the ear. I have always believed that the truest test of a family comedy is how it handles the first appearance of romantic possibility in a child's life. Most shows treat the event as pure comic fodder: awkward kisses, slammed doors, parental eye rolls. One Day at a Time, under Norman Lear's guiding intelligence and the quiet genius of its writers, refuses such simplicity. Here the arrival of Joanne is announced first as a kind of cosmic joke, a curse that follows Alex no matter where he hides, and then, almost immediately, as something far more tender and terrifying. The telephone conversation that opens the transcript is pure gold in its compression. Ha ha ha, they trace me no matter where I am. It's a curse, it's for Alex. Yeah, it's a girl. In those few lines the entire emotional architecture of the episode is already visible: the boy's embarrassed secrecy, the caller's amused recognition, and the family's sudden collective awareness that childhood has begun its irreversible retreat. When the camera, or in this case the reader's imagination, settles inside the Romano apartment, we find the familiar constellation of characters already reacting in character. Schneider, that perpetual weather vane of masculine bluster and unexpected tenderness, cannot resist turning the news into a full meteorological forecast. Girls are always a new experience, he declares. They're like snowflakes, no two are alike, Some are frigid, some are flaky, some melt faster than others, some turn to slush. The speech is classic Schneider, part locker room philosophy, part genuine bewilderment, delivered with the rhythmic confidence of a man who has never once been right about women yet cannot stop offering advice. Pat Harrington Jr. understood better than almost any comic actor of his generation how to make arrogance endearing. His Schneider is never merely a buffoon. He is a man who has constructed an entire worldview out of half-remembered Navy stories and overheard conversations in the building lobby, and who offers that worldview as a gift even when no one has asked for it. The weather report is funny precisely because it is so completely wrong and so completely sincere. I have known men like Schneider all my life. Uncles, neighbors, the guy who fixed the boiler in the building where I grew up, and every one of them believed with touching certainty that their particular brand of nonsense constituted hard-won wisdom. Anne Romano's reaction is quieter and infinitely more complex. Bonnie Franklin plays the moment with the restraint of a woman who has already raised 2 daughters through the storm of adolescence and now finds herself confronting the same weather system from an entirely new angle. Is she pretty? She asks, and the question is not idle curiosity. It is the first tremor of a deeper fear that her son is about to enter a realm of feeling for which she has no reliable map. The script allows her only a few lines in this opening movement, yet Franklin's presence fills the space around those lines with a lifetime of maternal calculation. One senses the rapid internal inventory she is conducting. How old is this Joanne? What does she want? How will Alex's voice change when he speaks of her? What happens if the relationship becomes serious? What happens if it ends badly? These are not questions the sitcom of the early 1980s was expected to ask so nakedly. And yet One Day at a Time asks them without apology. Barbara's contribution is equally precise. Valerie Bertinelli, still in the full bloom of her youthful radiance, plays the older sister who has already walked the path her brother is only beginning. Her teasing is affectionate rather than cruel, and her later confession that she is going to Mark's nearly empty apartment where all they delivered was the bed carries the quiet confidence of a young woman who has begun to understand her own desire. The contrast between Barbara's relative ease and Alex's panicked toothbrushing is one of the script's earliest and most effective comic engines. Anytime you brush your teeth at 2 in the afternoon, Schneider observes, it's either love or a day-old burrito. The line is pure sitcom craftsmanship, unexpected, rhythmic, and rooted in the physical reality of a 13-year-old boy's sudden self-consciousness. Glenn Scarpelli's Alex is all elbows and earnestness. A boy who has not yet learned how to inhabit his own body under the gaze of a girl. When he mutters that he needs to take off before Joanne arrives, the desperation is both hilarious and heartbreakingly recognizable. I find myself returning again and again to the particular quality of silence that follows Schneider's weather report. Anne asks almost warily whether they can get the weather report another time, please, and in that small request, one hears the exhaustion of a single mother who has spent years translating the world for her children and now discovers that the supporting another play's world has begun translating itself without her permission. The year is roughly 1981 or 82. The culture around the Romano family is still negotiating the aftershocks of the sexual revolution, the rise of the working mother, the slow dismantling of the idea that boys and girls occupy permanently separate emotional planets. One Day at a Time never lectures on these matters. It simply allows them to live inside the jokes and the pauses. When Schneider declares that women put their pants on one leg at a time unless they're a mermaid and they never take them off, the line is pure vaudeville. Yet it also gestures toward the deeper cultural confusion about female sexuality that still lingered in the early years of the Reagan era. The show does not resolve that confusion, it simply lets it sit in the room alongside the furniture and the laughter. What moves me most in these opening pages is the show's refusal to treat Alex's first romance as either pure comedy or pure crisis. It is both and it is neither. It is simply the next necessary chapter in the life of a family that has already survived divorce, economic uncertainty, and the ordinary heartbreaks of growing up. The script's genius lies in its ability to hold all of these tones at once. Schneider's snowflake monologue is allowed to be ridiculous. Anne's quiet worry is allowed to be real. Alex's toothbrushing is allowed to be both comic and sacred. In the space between those registers, something like truth appears. I remember with a clarity that still startles me the afternoon I first realized that a boy I cared for had begun to look at girls with an entirely new kind of attention. The feeling was not jealousy exactly, nor was it simple protectiveness. It was a strange hollow recognition that the closed circle of childhood was opening and that once opened it could never be sealed again. Watching Anne Romano in these early scenes, I feel that same hollow recognition traveling across decades of television history to settle quietly in my chest. Bonnie Franklin never overplays the emotion, she simply lets it live behind her eyes while she continues to fold laundry or answer the door or tell Schneider to stop talking. That restraint is the mark of a great television actress, and it is the reason Anne Romano remains for so many of us who grew up with her a kind of secular patron saint of imperfect, courageous motherhood. The arrival of Joanne is still several pages away, yet already the emotional weather of the episode has shifted. The air in the Romano apartment has become charged with possibility and dread in equal measure. Schneider continues to offer his theories. Barbara continues to tease. Alex continues to brush his teeth as though the act itself might somehow prepare him for the ordeal ahead. And Anne Romano stands at the center of it all. A woman who has already learned that love is both the most ordinary and the most dangerous force in the universe, and who now watches her son step toward that force with a mixture of pride and terror that no amount of sitcom laughter can entirely disguise. This is how one day at a time works when it is working at its highest level. It takes the smallest domestic event, a telephone call, a boy's sudden interest in personal hygiene, a super's ridiculous metaphor about snowflakes, and allows that event to open onto the largest questions of human connection. Who will we become when we begin to love? How do we protect the people we love without smothering the very growth that love requires? What does it mean to be a family when the children begin to leave the emotional orbit of the home and chart courses of their own? The script does not answer these questions. It simply asks them with humor and honesty and an almost unbearable tenderness, and then trusts its audience to feel the weight of the asking. In the years since I first encountered this series, I have returned to these early scenes more times than I can count. Each time I find something new, a flicker of vulnerability in Schneider's bravado, a half-second of pure panic crossing Alex's face, the way Anne's shoulders settle when she realizes that worry is simply the price of continued love. The writing remains as sharp as ever. The performances remain as lived in and true, and the emotional weather, that peculiar mixture of laughter and quiet dread that attends every child's first steps into romance, still feels as immediate as the afternoon the telephone first rang and someone on the other end said with equal parts amusement and sad of question, first 70th. That it was a girl. The moment Joanne steps into the Romano apartment is one of those quiet detonations that classic television sometimes achieves without anyone raising a voice. The script does not announce her with fanfare. She simply appears, a 13-year-old girl carrying the full weight of a family's sudden attention, and the room rearranges itself around her presence. What follows is a sequence of introductions so carefully observed, so gently comic, and so emotionally precise that it feels less like sitcom business and more like the actual texture of life when a new person first crosses a domestic threshold. Schneider has already prepared the stage with characteristic subtlety. He has returned to the apartment for the express purpose of watching faces change. "I am back because I want to see the look on your face when you see what I got in that hole," he declares, and though the line is pure Schneider exaggeration, the impulse behind it is recognizably human. He wants the spectacle of reaction. He wants to be present when the abstract idea of Alex's girlfriend becomes a living girl standing in the living room. Pat Harrington Jr. plays these moments with a kind of greedy delight, the delight of a man who has appointed himself both Greek chorus and self-appointed entertainment director for the household. Yet beneath the comic hunger there is something almost tender. Schneider has claimed this family as his own, and he intends to witness every chapter of its unfolding. When Joanne finally enters, the script gives her a simple, almost shy greeting. "Hi, is Alex here?" The line is ordinary, yet in context, it carries the full awkwardness of a young person stepping into an unfamiliar adult space. Anne's response is immediate hospitality mixed with the careful calibration of a mother who is already assessing. "It's real nice to have you here, and please come in." Bonnie Franklin delivers the invitation with warmth that never quite conceals the rapid internal inventory she is conducting. How does this girl carry herself? What does her voice reveal? Is she the sort of person who will treat Alex kindly? The performance is so restrained that a casual viewer might miss the calculation, but anyone who has ever been a parent recognizes the look. The age comparison arrives almost at once and becomes the first sustained comic beat of the visit. Alex and Joanne have already done the arithmetic in homeroom. He is 3 weeks older. The information is offered with the solemn importance that only adolescents can give to such tiny distinctions. He's 3 weeks older than me, Joanne says. He's older. Anne's reply is pure sitcom elegance. Sometimes Mother Nature delivers her packages a little early. The line is gentle, slightly wry, and perfectly calibrated to diffuse any tension while still acknowledging the absurdity of the claim. In the early 1980s, when the culture was still negotiating new language around gender and maturity, the joke lands with particular grace. It neither mocks the children's seriousness, nor pretends that 3 weeks of chronological advantage means anything at all. It simply lets the moment breathe. Schneider, of course, cannot leave well enough alone. He circles the conversation like a man who has waited all afternoon for this precise entertainment. He insists on seeing Barbara's reaction. Yo, Barbara front and center. The introduction that follows is pure Harrington, a mixture of showmanship and genuine curiosity. He wants to watch the older sister take the measure of the new arrival. Valerie Bertinelli plays Barbara's greeting with the easy confidence of a young woman who has already navigated the early stages of romance and now observes her brother's first steps with a mixture of amusement and protectiveness. The two girls exchange simple hellos, yet the air between them is already charged with the quiet assessment that occurs whenever a new romantic interest enters a family's orbit. Alex's offer to show Joanne his bedroom is the moment the scene tilts from pure comedy into something more delicate. So you want to see my bedroom? The line is blurted with the particular panic of a boy who has not yet learned how to manage his own impulses under scrutiny. Anne's immediate concern is palpable. The script does not need to spell out her thoughts. Every parent who has ever watched a child of either gender begin to move toward physical privacy with a romantic interest understands the sudden tightening in the chest. Bonnie Franklin plays the worry without speechifying. She simply lets it live in the set of her shoulders and the slight delay before she allows the two of them to leave the room. What makes the sequence remarkable is how cleanly it balances the comic and the sincere. Schneider's lingering is funny. The 3-week age difference is funny. Alex's awkwardness is funny. Yet none of the humor is allowed to erase the underlying reality that two young people are taking their first tentative steps toward one another under the full gaze of a family that loves them and fears for them in equal measure. The writing trusts the audience to hold both tones at once. That trust is one of the quiet signatures of One Day at a Time at its best. I have sat in rooms like this one. I have watched a younger relative introduce a first girlfriend or boyfriend and felt the same complicated mixture of delight and dread. The delight comes from seeing a child expand into new emotional territory. The dread comes from knowing how easily that territory can wound. The script captures both feelings without ever forcing the issue. It simply lets the characters behave as people behave when the private becomes suddenly public. Schneider's refusal to leave is particularly rich. He has promised to run along, yet he remains drawn by the spectacle and by his own need to remain central to the family's emotional weather. Harrington plays the reluctance with a kind of shameless transparency that somehow never becomes irritating. Schneider is not a villain. He is a man who has found in this household the closest thing to belonging he is likely to know, and he is not about to miss a chapter. His final exit is reluctant, almost mournful, as though he suspects that once the bedroom door closes, something will have changed that cannot be changed back. Anne's quiet exchange with Barbara after the children leave the room deepens the emotional current. The mother who once raised 2 daughters now finds herself protecting a son, and the difference feels significant to her. He's not your daughter, he's a boy. The line is simple, yet it carries the full weight of a woman recalibrating her protective instincts. Barbara's response is both teasing and wise. She reminds her mother that the dangers are not so different. only the cultural scripts surrounding them. The conversation is brief, yet it opens a window onto the show's larger interest in how gender shapes the experience of growing up and of raising children in the early 1980s. The entire sequence lasts only a few pages of transcript, yet it contains enough emotional and comic material to sustain far longer examination. Every line is doing double duty. Every reaction is both character revealing and thematically resonant. Joanne herself remains almost opaque in these first moments, a necessary blank onto which the family projects its hopes and fears. The script is wise enough not to explain her too quickly. She is simply present, polite, slightly nervous, and already the gravitational center of the afternoon. When I return to these pages, I am struck again by how little the writing needs to announce its intentions. There is no speech about the importance of first love. There is no explicit statement about the vulnerability of adolescence. The meaning lives in the pauses, in the way Anne watches the two young people leave the room, in the way Schneider invents reasons to remain, in the way Barbara measures the new arrival with the practiced eye of an older sister. The comedy is never cruel. The tenderness is never sentimental. The result is a scene that feels as lived in as any actual family gathering I have ever attended. In the years since this episode first aired, the culture has changed in countless ways, yet the particular awkwardness of a first romantic visit remains remarkably constant. The 3-week age difference still matters desperately to the children involved and not at all to anyone else. The mother's quiet calculation still occurs behind a polite smile. The resident comic relative still finds a way to linger. One day at a time understood these constants and rendered them with a clarity and affection that continues to feel rare. Watching Joanne take her place on the couch, hearing the careful exchange of ages, feeling the room hold its breath as the two young people move toward the bedroom door, one is reminded that the best television does not invent human behavior. It simply notices it with humor and with care, and then invites the audience to notice it too. The scene ends as so many of the show's best scenes end, with the family still slightly off balance, still adjusting to the new presence among them. Schneider has finally been persuaded to leave. Anne has not yet relaxed. Barbara has already begun to form her own quiet opinions. Alex and Joanne have disappeared down the hall. And the apartment, which only an hour earlier had been filled with the ordinary noise of a Saturday afternoon, now carries the faint charge of something irreversible having begun. The conversation that unfolds after Joanne has left the apartment for a time is one of the quietest and most revealing passages in the entire composite script. It is also one of the most recognizably human. Anne Romano, having just watched her 13-year-old son disappear down the hall with a girl, turns to her daughter Barbara and attempts to put into words a fear that has no clean language. The fear is not simply that something physical might occur. It is the deeper, more complicated dread of a parent who has already raised daughters, and now finds herself responsible for a son whose interior life she cannot fully map. Bonnie Franklin plays the moment with an almost painful restraint. There is no raised voice, no dramatic speech. Instead, there is the careful choosing of words, the slight hesitation before each sentence, the sense of a woman searching for a script she has never needed before. "You know damn well what I'm worried about," she tells Barbara. The line is simple, yet it carries the full weight of years of maternal vigilance suddenly redirected. When Barbara reminds her that the situation is different because Alex is a boy, Anne's reply lands with the force of long experience. Beware what a moment of passion can bring. The girl has a baby, the boy has a fling. She admits she has been delivering versions of that warning since Barbara was 3 years old. The admission is both comic and heartbreaking. It reveals a mother who has spent more than a decade trying to protect her daughters from consequences that society still placed more heavily on girls, and who now must invent an entirely new vocabulary for protecting a son. I have heard versions of this conversation in real kitchens and living rooms. The parent who raised girls and then faces a boy often discovers that the protective instincts do not simply transfer, they must be rebuilt. The culture of the early 1980s still offered clearer, if deeply unfair, scripts for daughters. For sons, the scripts were vaguer, more contradictory, and often laced with a quiet permission that mothers found difficult to accept. Anne's discomfort is not prudishness. It is the recognition that she does not yet know how a boy thinks and feels when desire first arrives. The script allows her to say this out loud, and in doing so, it grants her a vulnerability that few television mothers of the era were permitted. Barbara's role in the exchange is crucial. Valerie Bertinelli plays the older sister with a mixture of teasing affection and genuine insight. She has already begun her own romantic life. She knows something of the territory her brother is entering. When she offers the dry observation that at least worrying about girls would place her mother on familiar ground, the line draws a laugh while also underscoring the emotional truth. Barbara is not dismissing Anne's fear. She is acknowledging that the fear is real and that its shape has changed. The sibling council that follows is one of the show's quiet strengths. The Romano children do not exist merely as comic foils or as problems to be solved. They are full participants in the family's emotional work. The later conversation when Alex himself returns, and begins to ask direct questions about touching and kissing, deepens the scene into something rarer still. The boy who only hours earlier was frantically brushing his teeth now stands before his mother and sister and attempts to understand the physical language of early romance. "Did you used to touch a guy all the time?" he asks Barbara. The question is earnest, slightly panicked, and completely without guile. Glenn Scarpelli plays the moment with the particular intensity of an adolescent who has discovered that his own body and the bodies of others have become suddenly complicated. He demonstrates the kind of casual touching he has noticed from Joanne, and the demonstration is both comic and oddly moving. He is trying to translate observed behavior into rules he can follow. Anne's attempt to answer is a master class in parental improvisation. She begins with the safe observation that some people are simply naturally affectionate. She then corrects herself, acknowledging that the statement is incomplete. When Alex asks whether he is supposed to touch Joanne in return, the vulnerability in the question is almost unbearable. He does not want to feel dumb sitting there. He wants a clear map, and no clear map exists. Anne's eventual advice is characteristically careful. She tells him he is not a toucher by nature, and therefore he need not force himself into gestures that feel unnatural. The counsel is gentle, yet it also reveals the limits of what a mother can prescribe. She cannot live inside her son's skin. She can only offer the imperfect wisdom of her own experience. The discussion of kissing follows the same delicate pattern. Alex reports that Joanne has complimented his lips. The information is delivered with a mixture of pride and terror. Anne's response is measured. Kissing is fine. There is no crash course available. The admission of ignorance is itself a form of honesty rare in family sitcoms of the period. Most shows of the early 1980s preferred either comic exaggeration or moral certainty when addressing adolescent sexuality. One Day at a Time chooses neither. It chooses the more difficult path of admitting that the emotions of sex are not taught in any reliable way, and that parents and children must therefore invent the language together as they go. I find myself particularly moved by Alex's final decision in the scene. After listening to the incomplete and slightly flustered advice of his mother and sister, he announces that he will take talking. "Talking is easy," he says. "All you have to do is figure out what she's interested in, and then just ask her questions about anything but touching and kissing." The line is both comic and profoundly wise. The boy has recognized, even if only instinctively, that conversation may be the safest and most generous form of connection available to him at this stage. The choice reveals a sensitivity that the earlier comic business of toothbrushing and snowflake metaphors had only hinted at. Glenn Scarpelli allows the intelligence to surface without forcing it. The result is a portrait of early adolescence that feels unusually complete. The cultural context of these conversations matters. In the early 1980s, the public discussion of adolescent sexuality was still constrained by residual conservatism, even as the after effects of the previous decade's sexual revolution continued to reshape private behavior. Television had begun to address the subject more directly than it had in earlier decades, yet most treatments remained either cautionary or purely comic. One Day at a Time managed a rarer tone, respectful, slightly awkward, and grounded in the actual difficulty of the conversation rather than in any predetermined moral. Anne's willingness to admit that she does not have easy answers is itself a progressive act. The show does not pretend that a single talk can equip a child for the complexities ahead. It simply shows a mother and her children doing the best they can with the language they have. When I watch these scenes, I am reminded of similar conversations in my own family, conversations that were often less articulate and more freighted with unspoken fear. The gift of the script is that it allows the fear to be spoken without letting it dominate. Humor remains present, but it never undercuts the seriousness of the exchange. Schneider is absent from this particular movement, and his absence is felt as a relief. The family is allowed a few minutes of relative privacy in which to negotiate something intimate. The result is one of the most emotionally precise sequences the series ever achieved. By the time Alex declares that he is going to brush his teeth once more and leaves the room, the emotional weather of the household has shifted again. Anne remains unsettled. Barbara has offered what counsel she can. The boy has chosen talking as his primary strategy. And somewhere beyond the apartment walls, Joanne exists as both a specific 13-year-old girl and as the larger symbol of everything Anne cannot fully control. The script does not resolve the tension. It simply allows it to stand honest and unfinished the way such tensions stand in actual families. This is the particular grace of One Day at a Time at its best. It understands that the most important conversations are rarely the ones that reach clean conclusions. They are the ones in which people who love each other attempt with incomplete information and imperfect language to protect one another from the ordinary dangers of becoming fully human. In the quiet after Alex leaves the room, Anne and Barbara sit with the knowledge that the attempt has been made, that it was necessarily incomplete, and that the next attempt will have to be made tomorrow or the day after for as long as the children continue to grow. The hours that follow Alex and Joanne's departure for the movie are among the most tightly wound and emotionally layered in the entire composite script. What begins as a simple evening out expands into a full-scale collision of parental fear, gendered expectation, and the awkward public consequences of private adolescent feeling. The writing moves with deliberate patience, allowing the tension to build through telephone calls, unanswered questions, and the slow realization that two 13-year-olds have stepped outside the reach of adult supervision for longer than anyone planned. Anne's first signs of unease appear in the quiet domestic aftermath of the children's leaving. She has given permission, yet the permission sits uneasily with her. Bonnie Franklin plays the waiting with a restless physicality that never quite settles into calm. She moves through the apartment, answers the telephone when Mr. Boyer calls, and attempts to maintain a reasonable tone while the minutes continue to accumulate. The conversation with Joanne's father is a small masterpiece of mutual suspicion dressed in polite language. Both parents are worried. Both are determined not to appear the more alarmed. Both are already constructing narratives in which the other child is the more dangerous influence. When Mr. Boyer arrives in person, the tension sharpens into open conflict. The exchange that follows is one of the script's most revealing examinations of the double standard that still governed adolescent sexuality in the early 1980s. Mr. Boyer demands to know where Alex has taken his daughter. Anne already defensive answers that they went to a movie. The father's subsequent questions about special hangouts and the implication that a 13-year-old boy might have access to a motel produce in Anne a flash of protective anger that Bonnie Franklin renders with controlled heat. Her reply about the hideaway motel and special rates for 13-year-old delinquents is pure sitcom exaggeration, yet the exaggeration serves a serious purpose. It exposes the ease with which blame is assigned to the boy when a girl is late, and the equal ease with which a mother's defense of her son can be read as irresponsibility. The argument escalates when Anne turns the scrutiny back upon Joanne's clothing. The phrase she uses is deliberately harsh. She calls the outfit a sex kit. The language is shocking in its directness, and the script does not soften it. Anne is not merely criticizing a sweater and slacks. She is articulating a fear that many parents of daughters carried in that era, that certain styles of dress invited a kind of attention from which a girl might not easily protect herself, and that fathers sometimes failed to notice the invitation. Mr. Boyer's outrage is immediate and understandable. He has spent $60 on the clothes. He believes he has dressed his daughter in the style of her peers. The collision between these two parental perspectives produces some of the strongest dramatic writing in the sequence. What makes the scene endure is its refusal to declare a simple winner. Anne's language is excessive, yet the anxiety beneath it is real. Mr. Boyer's defense of his daughter is fierce, yet he has not fully considered the messages clothing can send in a culture still sorting through the aftermath of sexual liberation. The script allows both parents to be partially right and partially wrong. It allows their fear for their children to make them temporarily cruel to each other. In the early 1980s, when public conversation about adolescent sexuality remained constrained by residual conservatism even as private behavior had already shifted, such honesty on network television felt almost radical. Barbara's presence during the confrontation provides a necessary counterweight. She intervenes when the argument threatens to become purely destructive, reminding both adults that the children are still missing and that mutual accusation will not locate them. Valerie Bertinelli plays the mediation with a maturity that underscores how much the older daughter has already absorbed of adult complexity. She has watched her mother raise two girls. She understands the particular vigilance Anne has practiced. She also recognizes the unfairness of placing the entire burden of restraint upon Joanne. Her brief defense of the other girl's ordinary teenage wardrobe is one of the scene's quiet correctives. The discovery itself arrives through Schneider, who has once again appointed himself the family's unofficial intelligence service. His report that the children were found necking on a stairwell is delivered with the mixture of relish and reluctant responsibility that defines so much of his character. He has seen them. He has assessed the activity as basic. He has decided they do not deserve severe punishment because they eventually came home. The language he uses is pure Schneider. Neck and 101. The comic framing does not erase the fact that two 13-year-olds have spent 2 hours in physical exploration that neither set of parents anticipated when the evening began. When Alex and Joanne finally enter the apartment, the emotional temperature shifts again. The scolding that follows is distributed unevenly, as such scoldings often are. Joanne receives the sharper public correction. Her father examines the sweater, declares it too revealing in retrospect, and announces that tomorrow will bring baggy bloomers and heavy sweatshirts. The moment is comic in its exaggeration, yet it also reveals the speed with which a father's anxiety can convert into control over a daughter's body. Alex receives his own reprimand, but the cultural script still grants him a wider margin of error. The disparity is not lost on the audience, and the writing does not pretend it is invisible. I have watched versions of this parental panic unfold in real families. The telephone calls that grow shorter and sharper as the minutes pass. The mental inventory of every possible danger, the sudden ungenerous thoughts about the other child. The relief that arrives mixed with residual anger when the missing finally appear. The script captures all of it with a fidelity that still feels uncommon. It understands that the fear is rarely about the specific act of kissing. It is about the larger recognition that a child has begun to inhabit a private, physical and emotional world that no parent can fully enter or fully protect. Anne's final exchange with Alex after Joanne has gone home returns the focus to the mother and son relationship that has been the quiet center of the episode. She insists on conversation. She wants to know what the 2 hours contained. When Alex answers that they were kissing and that kissing goes by very fast, the simplicity of the statement carries more weight than any extended confession could. Bonnie Franklin receives the information with a mixture of relief and continued concern. The boy is safe. The experience was apparently mutual and without coercion. Yet the speed with which time disappeared inside the kissing tells her that the emotional stakes have already risen higher than she is entirely prepared for. The sequence as a whole stands as one of the series' most accomplished examinations of the gap between parental imagination and adolescent reality. The parents invent dangers. The children invent privacy. Somewhere between the two inventions, actual experience occurs ordinary and irreversible. The stairwell becomes the temporary stage for that experience, a liminal space neither fully public nor fully private, and therefore perfect for the first sustained exploration of physical affection. In the years since these episodes first aired, the specific details of clothing and parental language have dated in the expected ways. The underlying emotional architecture has not. Parents still wait through evenings that stretch longer than planned. They still construct competing narratives about whose child is the greater risk. They still discover that the first serious romantic encounters of their children force them to confront the limits of their own protection. One day at a time rendered that confrontation with humor, with fairness, and with an unusual willingness to let both the parents and the children remain complicated. The result is a sequence that continues to feel less like period television and more like a clear window onto a permanent human difficulty. By the time the apartment settles again into something like quiet, the evening has changed everyone in it. Alex has learned that time can vanish inside a kiss. Joanne has learned that her clothing can become a subject of adult argument. Anne has learned that the protective strategies she perfected with daughters require revision for a son. Mr. Boyer has learned that his own vigilance may have blind spots. Schneider has collected another story to tell. And the audience has been allowed to watch the entire messy, ordinary, high-stakes process without the comfort of easy moral resolution. That refusal of resolution remains one of the series' most enduring gifts. The return of Alex and Joanne to the apartment does not end the evening's emotional work, it merely changes its form. After the public scolding after Joanne has been walked to the door, after the residual tension between the two sets of parents has been temporarily set aside, Anne Romano does what the women in her family have apparently always done at the close of a date. She makes hot chocolate. The gesture is small, almost ritual, and in the context of the script it becomes one of the most quietly powerful acts of care the series ever offered. The tradition is explained with characteristic simplicity. Whenever the daughters came home from an evening out, their mother would prepare the drink and then sit with them while they talked through whatever had occurred. The practice is both ordinary and profound. It creates a structured space in which experience can be translated into language before it hardens into private memory or private confusion. Anne attempts to extend the same ritual to her son. The offer itself is an act of continuity and of adaptation. She is trying to keep a family custom alive even as the gender of the child and the nature of the evening have both changed. Alex's immediate response is resistance mixed with exhaustion. He is sorry, he knows he should have called, he would prefer to go to bed. Bonnie Franklin does not allow the preference to stand. She calls him back, she insists on conversation. The insistence is not punitive, it is the insistence of a parent who understands that the most important information often surfaces only when a child is given both permission and gentle pressure to speak. When Alex finally admits that the 2 hours were spent kissing and that kissing goes by very fast, the statement lands with the particular force of adolescent truth-telling. There is no embellishment. There is no attempt to impress or to shock. There is only the plain report of an experience that has already begun to reshape his sense of time. Anne's reply is one of the script's most carefully measured pieces of parental speech. She tells him that the family is there for him. She tells him he is loved in that house. Then she acknowledges that her earlier attempt to discuss touching and kissing had been incomplete. She proposes a wide-open conversation about the birds and the bees that will not quit. The language is deliberately old-fashioned, almost comic in its formality, yet the intention behind it is serious. She wants to move past the mechanical facts that school has already supplied and into the far more difficult territory of feeling. Alex's resistance at this point is both comic and deeply recognizable. He informs his mother that school has already covered the mechanics and the social diseases. The line draws a laugh, yet it also reveals the gap that Anne is trying to name. Facts about bodies and risks can be taught in classrooms. The emotional weather of physical intimacy cannot. The boy who only hours earlier was asking whether he was supposed to return Joanne's casual touches now finds himself on the receiving end of a maternal offer to explore the interior consequences of those touches. His preference for postponement is understandable. He has already lived through more concentrated emotion in one evening than he is prepared to analyze. The distinction Anne draws between the mechanics of sex and the emotions of sex remains one of the most progressive and understated insights the series ever articulated. In the early 1980s, formal sex education, where it existed at all, tended to emphasize biology, reproduction, and disease prevention. The interior experience of desire, affection, vulnerability, and the strange acceleration of time inside a kiss was left largely unaddressed. Anne's insistence that someone ought to speak about those emotions is therefore quietly radical. She does not claim to possess a complete curriculum. She simply refuses to pretend that the mechanical information is sufficient. I have sat through versions of this conversation both as the younger participant and later as the adult attempting to offer guidance. The difficulty is always the same. The parent wants to protect and to prepare, the child wants to preserve the private intensity of the experience without having it dissected under fluorescent light. The script honors both impulses. It allows Anne to press for conversation, it allows Alex to defer the fuller discussion until the following day. The compromise feels truthful rather than convenient. Barbara's presence at the edge of the scene adds another layer of emotional complexity. When Alex finally escapes to bed, Anne turns to her daughter and asks for the details of Barbara's own evening with Mark. The request is only partly about gathering information. It is also about the mother's sudden recognition that the hot chocolate tradition so long associated with daughters returning from dates may be reaching its natural end. Barbara's wry observation that kissing goes by real fast mirrors Alex's earlier report and creates a quiet bridge between the siblings' experiences. The mother who once received these reports from two girls now finds herself collecting them from a daughter and a son in the same night. The symmetry is both comforting and slightly melancholy. Valerie Bertinelli plays the exchange with a lightness that does not erase its underlying weight. Barbara has already begun to inhabit an adult romantic life. She can speak of kissing with a certain casual authority. Yet she also understands that her mother is asking for more than entertainment. Anne is trying to remain connected to the emotional lives of her children even as those lives begin to move beyond the reach of hot chocolate and kitchen table confession. The daughter's willingness to supply the details is itself a form of care. The cultural moment in which these scenes were written matters. Network television in the early 1980s was still testing the boundaries of how directly it could address adolescent sexuality. Most programs either avoided the subject or treated it as pure comic disruption. One Day at a Time chose a third path. It allowed a mother and her children to speak, however imperfectly, about the difference between knowing the facts and understanding the feelings. It allowed the conversation to remain unfinished. It trusted the audience to recognize that unfinished conversations are often the ones that continue to do their work long after the lights are turned out. When I return to this sequence, I am struck by the ordinary objects that carry so much emotional freight. The hot chocolate itself. The kitchen table, the hallway down which Alex disappears. The shared recognition that time behaves differently inside a kiss. None of these elements is dramatic in the conventional sense. Their power comes from the way the writing and the performances allow them to stand for larger truths about growing up and about the parental desire to remain useful in the face of that growing. Anne's final acceptance that the fuller talk will have to wait until tomorrow is not a defeat. It is an acknowledgement of limits. She has opened the door. She has named the distinction between mechanics and emotions. She has reminded her son that he is loved. For one evening that is as much as the situation will allow. The restraint feels like wisdom rather than evasion. In the quiet that follows Alex's departure to his room, the apartment seems to exhale. The crisis of the missing children has been resolved. The public argument with Mr. Boyer has been set aside. What remains is the smaller, more enduring work of helping a boy begin to understand the interior consequences of his first sustained romantic experience. The script does not pretend that a single conversation can complete that work. It simply shows a mother beginning it. With hot chocolate and imperfect words and a willingness to admit that she too is still learning how the emotions of sex actually operate. That willingness remains one of the series' most lasting contributions to the depiction of family life on television. It is relatively easy to write parents who know all the answers. It is far more difficult and far more valuable to write parents who are willing to sit with their children inside the questions. Anne Romano, in these late scenes of the evening, does exactly that. She sits with the questions. She offers what language she has. And she leaves the door open for the conversation that will continue the next day and the day after that for as long as her children are willing to walk back through it. The shift from the intimate domestic crisis of Alex's first romance to the public world of business and capital arrives without ceremony, yet the emotional continuity is unmistakable. Anne Romano, having spent an evening navigating the uncertainties of her son's emerging sexuality, now turns to another form of uncertainty that has defined much of her adult life, the struggle to secure the financial ground on which her independence rests. The Georgia Jeans campaign, as it is first named in the script, represents more than a professional opportunity. It represents the possibility of moving from survival to something closer to permanence. Francine Webster enters the apartment carrying both news and frustration. The two women have been pursuing a national account that would involve television commercials, billboards, radio spots, and a budget large enough to generate a commission of $150,000. The figures are spoken with the particular mixture of excitement and disbelief that accompanies any sudden expansion of possibility for people who have grown accustomed to smaller scales. In the early 1980s, when inflation still carried the memory of the previous decade's economic turbulence and when women-owned businesses remained statistical rarities, such an account would have meant far more than professional validation. It would have meant a measurable alteration in the material conditions of two working lives. The bank's rejection is delivered with the impersonal language of institutional caution. The company lacks collateral and does not qualify for the business loan. The script allows the frustration to surface without melodrama. Anne's anger is directed less at any individual loan officer than at the structural reality the rejection represents. Banks sound friendly on the radio, she observes, yet the friendliness evaporates when two women without traditional forms of security request capital. The observation is both comic and pointed. It captures the gap between the marketing of financial institutions and the actual experience of those who approach them without the conventional markers of creditworthiness. Bonnie Franklin plays Anne's disappointment with a restraint that makes the emotion more rather than less visible. There is no extended monologue of complaint. There is instead the quiet inventory of everything the loan would have made possible: the marketing analysis, the layout artist, the photographer, the media expert, the trip to New York. Each item on the list is practical. Together, they form a picture of professional ambition that has been carefully built and is now temporarily blocked. The performance suggests a woman who has already absorbed many such blocks and who has learned to convert disappointment into the next necessary calculation. I have known versions of this calculation. The single mother who has built a working life from limited materials learns early that financial institutions often require proof of stability before they will help create it. The circularity is familiar and exhausting. Anne's determination to find another path is therefore not simply plot necessity. It is the expression of a character who has already refused to accept the circularity as final. The script positions the Georgia Jeans opportunity as the latest test of that refusal. Schneider's entrance into the financial conversation is on the surface pure comic disruption. He has overheard enough to understand that money is required. He announces that he has $10,000. The offer is immediate, almost casual, and completely characteristic. Pat Harrington Jr. plays the moment with the bluff confidence of a man who has decided that his personal resources and the Romano family's needs are naturally aligned. Yet, beneath the comic timing lies a more complicated truth. Schneider has watched Anne claw her way from the early vulnerability of divorce and joblessness into a working partnership. He has appointed himself both witness and participant in that climb. The offer of capital is consistent with the role he has chosen. Anne's initial resistance is equally consistent. She does not want to borrow money from a friend. The distinction she draws between borrowing and investing will become central to the later negotiation, but in this first movement the resistance is emotional rather than financial. She has spent years constructing an independence that does not rely on the personal generosity of the men in her orbit. To accept Schneider's money, even temporarily, risks reopening a dependence she has worked hard to close. Francine's pragmatic willingness to take the funds only sharpens Anne's hesitation. The partnership between the two women has been built on shared professional risk. Introducing Schneider's capital introduces a third set of interests that neither woman can fully control. The economic context of the early 1980s gives these scenes additional weight. Interest rates remained high. Credit was not equally available across gender lines. Women seeking business loans frequently encountered requirements for male co-signers or for forms of collateral that their working lives had not allowed them to accumulate. The script does not deliver a lecture on these structural realities. It simply allows Anne and Francine to encounter them in the ordinary course of trying to expand their work. The result is more persuasive than any speech could have been. What moves me in these pages is the quiet dignity with which Anne absorbs the rejection and begins to calculate alternatives. There is no self-pity. There is no extended lament about the unfairness of the system. There is only the practical recognition that the system has once again required more proof than she can currently supply and the determination to locate another route forward. That determination has been the through line of her character since the series began. The Georgia Jeans opportunity simply provides the latest occasion for its expression. Francine's role in the sequence is worth particular attention. She has already invested time and connection in setting up the New York meeting. Her frustration at the bank's decision is sharpened by the sense that she has done her part and that the remaining obstacle is institutional rather than personal. Shelley Fabares plays the irritation with a crisp energy that contrasts usefully with Anne's more internalized response. Together, the two women embody different styles of ambition under pressure, one more outwardly expressive, the other more contained, both equally serious about the work. Schneider's insistence that the money is only a piece of his larger financial picture is of course later revealed to be only partially accurate. In this first movement, however, the claim serves to lower the emotional temperature of the offer. He presents himself as a man with diversified holdings, a camper title, a lot on Lake Havasu, gold purchased at a favorable price, and additional funds tied up in what he describes as solid investments. The list is pure Schneider. A mixture of actual assets and optimistic accounting, yet the underlying impulse is sincere. He wants to hitch his financial star to Anne's professional wagon because he has already hitched his personal loyalty to her household. The negotiation that begins here will later expand into questions of percentage, creative control, and the proper role of a silent partner. In this opening movement, the essential tension is simpler. Can a woman who has built her working life on the principle of earned independence accept capital from a man whose primary relationship to her has been domestic and comic rather than professional? The script does not resolve the tension quickly. It allows Anne's reluctance to stand as a legitimate position rather than as an obstacle to be overcome by the next commercial break. When I consider the sequence in the larger arc of the series, I am struck by how consistently One Day at a Time treated economic pressure as a central rather than peripheral element of family life. Anne's work is never merely background. It is the material foundation upon which the household stability rests, and threats to that foundation are treated with the same seriousness as threats to the children's emotional well-being. The Georgia Jeans opportunity continues that commitment. The bank's rejection is not comic business. It is a genuine crisis that happens to be interrupted by Schneider's characteristic offer of imperfect help. The scene ends as so many of the show's financial sequences end, with the problem still open and the emotional stakes clearly marked. Anne has not yet accepted the money. Francine is ready to move forward. Schneider has declared his willingness to invest. The $10,000 remains both a practical necessity and a relational complication. In the space between those two realities, the next movement of the story will take shape. I return to these pages with a particular personal recognition. The experience of needing capital and discovering that the institutions designed to provide it require proof of a stability one is simultaneously trying to create is not limited to the early 1980s. It remains a common feature of working lives that begin without inherited security. Anne Romano's response to that experience, her refusal to treat the rejection as final and her careful evaluation of the alternatives, continues to feel like a model of practical courage. The script honors that courage without inflating it into heroism. It simply shows a woman doing the next necessary thing and then the thing after that in the long project of building a life that can support both her children and her own ambition. Once the decision is made and Schneider's $10,000 enter the working capital of the agency, the tone of the professional sequences shifts from anxious possibility to a more complicated mixture of gratitude and encroachment. The money solves an immediate problem. It also introduces a new set of problems that the script explores with a comic precision rooted in character rather than in easy stereotype. Schneider does not simply provide funds and withdraw. He arrives, he observes, he comments. and he begins to treat the creative process as an extension of the domestic stage on which he has long performed. The early office scenes establish the collision with characteristic efficiency. Schneider appears with friends from the lodge men who have heard that he is now an advertiser and who treat the visit as an occasion for fraternal inspection. Their presence immediately disrupts the concentration Anne and Francine require. The script allows the interruption to play as broad comedy, yet the underlying point is serious. The two women have constructed a working space in which their professional judgment is the primary authority. Schneider's arrival, complete with an audience of male peers, temporarily converts that space into something closer to a social club in which the women's expertise becomes secondary entertainment. Anne's response is a model of controlled diplomacy. She does not eject the visitors with open anger. She instead employs a form of strategic flattery that borders on satire. She speaks of the difficulty of concentrating in the presence of so many big, strong, handsome men, and the visitors, pleased by the description, eventually depart. The maneuver is both funny and revealing. Bonnie Franklin plays it with the weary skill of a woman who has learned that direct confrontation is not always the most efficient route to the restoration of order. She preserves the relationship with Schneider while reclaiming the room. The cost is a temporary performance of the very gender dynamics the agency is otherwise trying to transcend. Schneider's creative contributions arrive soon afterward and form the sustained comic engine of the sequence. His first major suggestion involves Orson Welles in a laundromat declaring that he will wear no jeans before they are clean. The idea is presented with the pride of a man who believes he has located a perfect intersection of celebrity and product. The script allows Anne and Francine to reject it without cruelty. Yet the rejection itself becomes another occasion for Schneider to feel that his investment has not purchased the influence he expected. The pattern repeats with increasing clarity. He has supplied capital, he therefore expects his ideas to carry weight. The women who must actually produce work that can win and keep the account cannot afford to indulge ideas that fail basic tests of coherence or taste. The most pointed of Schneider's interventions concerns the proper way to advertise jeans to women. He insists that the campaign is attempting to sell the wrong part of the anatomy. Butts, he declares, are insufficient. Bosom is what sells. The analogy he offers involving a balloon tied at the bottom is pure Schneider, vivid, physically specific, and completely misaligned with the actual psychology of the female consumer the agency is trying to reach. Francine's response is immediate and withering. The suggestion is called the stupidest, most idiotic, most chauvinistic statement she has heard. The language is strong, yet it is earned by the cumulative weight of Schneider's assumptions. He has entered a professional environment built by women and has proceeded to interpret its central product through a male gaze that the clients themselves are unlikely to share. Pat Harrington Jr. plays these moments with a sincerity that prevents the character from collapsing into simple caricature. Schneider does not offer his ideas as deliberate provocations. He offers them as genuine contributions from a man who believes he understands both business and women. The gap between that belief and the actual requirements of the work produces the comedy, but it also produces a quieter current of pathos. Schneider wants to be useful. He wants his investment to mean more than money. He wants to participate in the creative success he has helped to finance. The tragedy, if the word is not too heavy for the tone of the scenes, is that his particular form of participation is precisely what the work cannot accommodate. Anne's handling of the interference reveals the depth of her character. She does not humiliate Schneider in front of others. She does not revoke the partnership in a moment of frustration. She instead attempts to redefine his role into something closer to the silent partner he was originally invited to become. She suggests that he go home and write down all of his ideas so that they can be reviewed later over brunch. The suggestion is both kind and strategic. It removes him from the immediate creative process while preserving his dignity and his financial stake. Bonnie Franklin delivers the redirection with a warmth that does not entirely conceal the underlying steel. She has accepted the money. She has not accepted the surrender of professional authority that Schneider's presence continually threatens. The cultural resonance of these scenes is considerable. In the early 1980s, the advertising industry remained heavily male in its upper ranks, even as women had begun to enter in greater numbers at lower and middle levels. The spectacle of two women running an agency and attempting to manage a male investor who believes his gender grants him automatic insight into the female consumer carries a pointed relevance. The script does not deliver speeches about workplace equity. It simply allows the daily friction of that inequity to generate both comedy and character development. Schneider's chauvinism is not presented as unique villainy. It is presented as the ordinary background radiation of the culture now made visible because it has entered a space where it can no longer operate unchallenged. I have watched similar dynamics unfold in working environments where capital and expertise do not belong to the same people. The investor who believes that money entitles him to creative control, the professionals who must protect the quality of the work without alienating the source of the funds. The careful language required to maintain both the relationship and the standards. Anne's navigation of this terrain feels lived in because it is grounded in the same practical intelligence she has always brought to the management of her household. The skills are transferable, the emotional cost is also transferable. Francine's sharper impatience provides a useful counterpoint. She has less history with Schneider, and therefore less incentive to protect his feelings. Her readiness to name the chauvinism directly serves as a pressure valve for the frustration that Anne, for relational reasons, must often express more obliquely. The partnership between the two women is strengthened by their slightly different tolerances for Schneider's presence. Together, they form a united front that neither could sustain as effectively alone. By the time Schneider is finally persuaded to leave the office, the essential terms of the new arrangement have been made visible. The money has been accepted. The creative authority has been defended. The personal relationship has been strained but not broken. The script does not pretend that the tension has been permanently resolved. It simply allows the characters to reach a temporary working equilibrium that will be tested again as the New York presentation approaches. What lingers after these scenes is the complicated affection that still binds Schneider to the Romano household even when his professional contributions are actively unhelpful. He is not a villain. He is a man whose desire to belong continually outruns his understanding of the boundaries that belonging requires. The series has always treated that desire with a mixture of exasperation and fondness. The investment plot simply places the same desire in a new arena, where the stakes are financial as well as emotional, and where the consequences of overstepping are more immediately measurable. In the larger arc of Anne's working life, the sequence stands as another chapter in the long project of building professional autonomy while remaining embedded in a community that does not always respect the formal separation of spheres. Schneider's money is useful. Schneider's ideas are not. The task of accepting the one without being overtaken by the other requires a form of emotional and strategic labor that the script renders with both humor and respect. Anne performs that labor in plain sight, and in doing so, she continues to model a version of working womanhood that remains rarer on television than it should be: competent, relationally intelligent, and unwilling to surrender authority simply to them. Because the capital arrived wearing a familiar face. The New York trip and its aftermath form one of the most emotionally complete arcs in the business portion of the composite script. What began as a desperate search for capital and continued through the comic friction of Schneider's creative interference now reaches a double resolution: professional success for Anne and Francine and a complicated financial and emotional exit for Schneider. The writing handles both outcomes with a clarity that refuses easy sentiment while still honoring the human costs involved. Schneider's waiting period while Anne is in New York is rendered with particular care. Left behind, he cycles through anxiety, regret, and a belated honesty about the true state of his resources. The land at Lake Havasu is now in Lake Havasu. The gold is of uncertain status. The $30,000 he had cited so confidently is revealed to be a life insurance policy that requires his death to become available. The admissions arrive in fragments, each one lowering the comic tone another degree until the audience understands that the $10,000 he invested was not a comfortable surplus but a significant portion of what he actually possessed. Pat Harrington Jr. plays the revelations without self-pity. The character remains recognizably Schneider, still capable of a blustery aside, yet the bravado now sits on top of a visible vulnerability. The moment carries a quiet weight. Schneider has spent years presenting himself as a man of varied and solid holdings. The performance was partly for others and partly for himself. Confronted with the possibility that the investment might fail, he is forced to drop the performance and acknowledge the narrower truth. The script does not punish him for the earlier exaggeration. It simply allows the truth to surface at the point when the emotional stakes are highest. In doing so, it deepens the character without abandoning the comic foundation that makes him bearable. Anne's return from New York is staged as a classic delayed revelation. She arrives with new boots, a description of a pleasant flight, and an apparent reluctance to discuss the outcome of the meeting. Schneider's impatience is immediate and unfiltered. He has spent the intervening time constructing every possible disaster. When the news finally breaks that the account has been won, the relief is complicated by the residual anger of the waiting period. The two of them have never been skilled at clean emotional transitions. Success arrives still tangled with the fear that preceded it. The subsequent argument over the remaining $2,000 is one of the script's sharpest examinations of pride, obligation, and the difficulty of accepting help that has become entangled with personal history. Anne attempts to return what is left of Schneider's investment. She frames the gesture as fairness. Schneider experiences it as a judgment on the entire arrangement. His refusal is absolute. Men do not welsh on deals. The language is old-fashioned and slightly absurd. Yet the feeling beneath it is serious. He will not allow the partnership to end in a way that suggests he needs to be protected from the consequences of his own decision. Bonnie Franklin plays Anne's frustration with the particular heat of a woman who is trying to do the decent thing and is being prevented by the other party's dignity. The conflict is not about the money itself. It is about the meaning each of them needs the money to carry. I have watched similar standoffs in real relationships where financial help has crossed the line into emotional territory. The giver wants the help to remain clean. The receiver wants the help to remain a mutual transaction rather than a rescue. When those two desires collide, even small sums can generate outsized feeling. The script captures the collision without choosing a simple hero. Both Anne and Schneider are protecting something legitimate. The tragedy, if the word can be used for a sitcom argument, is that they cannot protect those things at the same time. The later discovery that the agency has been offered the chance to handle the client's entire line raises the stakes again. Anne and Francine are prepared to reinvest every available resource in the larger opportunity. Schneider offered the chance to remain and share in the potential upside, elects instead to take his principal a little interest and a little bonus and to exit. The stated reason is portfolio diversification. The actual reason is more layered. He has seen the intensity of the work. He has felt the limits of his usefulness inside it. He has experienced the fear of loss more sharply than he expected. The decision to leave is both self-protective and self-aware. Pat Harrington Jr. delivers the exit with a mixture of bravado and quiet relief. The Geronimo with which he announces the departure is pure Schneider, a comic flourish designed to mask the more complicated feelings underneath. Yet the performance also allows a glimpse of genuine self-knowledge. He has hitched his star to Anne's wagon and has now decided that the ride is more turbulent than he can comfortably sustain. The choice does not diminish his loyalty to the household. It simply redraws the boundary of how that loyalty will be expressed in financial terms. The cultural context of these decisions matters. In the early 1980s, small agencies lived close to the edge of solvency. A single large account could transform the working lives of the people who secured it. The same account could also consume every reserve and every relationship that had been used to obtain it. Anne's willingness to reinvest everything in the expanded opportunity is consistent with the risk tolerance she has shown since the beginning of the series. Schneider's decision to take his money and step away is equally consistent with a man who has always preferred the appearance of solid ground even when the ground was less solid than he claimed. What remains after the financial settlement is the personal relationship, slightly bruised but intact. Anne and Schneider have moved capital between them. They have argued about the meaning of that capital. They have discovered limits in each other that the domestic comedy had not previously required them to face. The script does not pretend that the discoveries are painless. It simply allows the two of them to reach a new equilibrium in which the household continues and the professional partnership ends. I find myself returning to the image of Schneider waiting for the news from New York. The man who has spent years inserting himself into the Romano family's daily weather now sits inside an anxiety that is almost entirely solitary. The investment has made him temporarily more alone rather than more connected. The irony is not lost on the writing. In trying to bind himself more tightly to Anne's success, he has created a private fear that the family cannot fully share until the outcome is known. The later decision to exit can be read in part as a refusal to remain in that solitary anxiety for the sake of possible future gain. The sequence as a whole completes the business arc with unusual emotional thoroughness. Success is achieved. The capital is returned with a premium. The creative partnership is dissolved by mutual if unevenly felt agreement. What survives is the more durable attachment of two people who have once again discovered that they can wound each other and still remain in each other's lives. That discovery has always been at the heart of the Schneider and Anne relationship. The Georgia Jeans episode simply stages it in the arena of money rather than in the more familiar arenas of advice, intrusion and domestic crisis. By the time Schneider declares his portfolio in need of diversification and makes his exit, the audience understands that the declaration is both true and incomplete. The portfolio in question is not only financial, it is emotional. He has risked a portion of his security on Anne's ambition and has decided that the risk once tasted is not one he wishes to repeat at the same scale. The decision is neither heroic nor cowardly. It is human-specific, and consistent with everything the series has ever shown us about the man who lives downstairs and keeps finding reasons to come up. The arrival of the two grandmothers while Anne is again in New York opens a different register of family comedy, one rooted less in adolescent romance or financial risk and more in the long unfinished negotiations of intergenerational love. Barbara Cooper finds herself suddenly responsible for the emotional weather of two older women who have each claimed a permanent stake in her life and who now occupy the same rooms with imperfect grace. The script treats the situation with a light touch that never quite conceals the deeper currents of rivalry, insecurity, and the human need to be preferred. Grandma Romano enters first carrying the particular energy of a woman who has always tried to remain current with the younger generation. She suggests movies letting down of hair a temporary escape from the more formal expectations of age. Her relationship with Barbara has been built on a deliberate attempt to close the distance that often separates grandparents from the daily lives of their grandchildren. The effort is both touching and occasionally awkward. She wants to be experienced as an ally rather than as an authority, and the wanting itself creates a pressure that Barbara must continually manage. Grandma Cooper's arrival shifts the balance. Where Grandma Romano leans toward informality, Grandma Cooper arrives with a more traditional bearing and with gifts that carry the weight of lineage. The early exchange of greetings is polite, even warm, yet the politeness is already strained by mutual awareness. Each woman knows the other is present. Each is measuring the quality of Barbara's attention. The script allows the measurement to occur in glances, in small competitive compliments, and in the careful allocation of conversational space. Nanette Fabre and the actress playing Grandma Romano in the composite, the roles are clear even when names blur, give the rivalry a lived-in specificity. This is not abstract generational conflict. It is the concrete difficulty of two women who love the same young person and who cannot fully relax in each other's company. Barbara's position at the center of the competition is handled with particular care. Valerie Bertinelli plays the young woman who must distribute her affection without appearing to keep score. The task is impossible, and the impossibility produces both comedy and a quiet strain. When Grandma Romano notes that there must be an Avis grandmother and a Hertz grandmother, the joke lands because it names the hierarchy that everyone in the room can feel but that no one wants to acknowledge directly. Barbara's refusal to declare a favorite is both diplomatic and self-protective. She understands that any ranking once spoken would wound the woman placed second and would place her in an ongoing position of emotional debt to the woman placed first. The generation gap is invoked explicitly and repeatedly. Barbara observes that time with Grandma Cooper often reduces itself to the shared contemplation of that very gap. The observation is not cruel. It is the report of a young person who has tried and has not yet found a comfortable conversational rhythm with one of the two women who claim her. Grandma Romano, by contrast, has worked harder to remain conversationally available, even when the effort requires her to adopt interests and energies that are not entirely native to her stage of life. The difference in approach produces different forms of closeness and different forms of pressure. I have watched versions of this dynamic in my own extended family. The grandparent who arrives with stories and small rebellions against the dignity of age. The grandparent who arrives with formal affection and with objects that carry history. The grandchild who must metabolize both forms of love without enough hours in the day or enough emotional vocabulary to make both parties feel equally chosen. The script captures the fatigue of that position without reducing Barbara to a victim. She remains capable of affection, of irritation, and of the occasional strategic retreat. Her intelligence in managing the situation is one of the sequence's quiet pleasures. The early gifts begin to appear almost at once. Grandma Cooper produces an heirloom that has traveled through several generations of women. The presentation is ceremonial. The object is offered as a link in a chain that now includes Barbara. The gesture is generous and also territorial. It asserts a continuity that does not include the other grandmother. Grandma Romano's response is measured, yet the measurement itself reveals the effort required to remain gracious. The script does not force an open confrontation at this stage. It simply allows the competitive generosity to establish itself as the central mechanism of the visit. What makes the sequence enduring is its refusal to declare either grandmother simply right or simply wrong. Grandma Romano's desire to remain youthful in her granddaughter's company is both loving and occasionally burdensome. Grandma Cooper's more formal style of affection is both limited and deeply sincere. Barbara needs both of them, and the needing is complicated by the fact that each woman would prefer to be needed more exclusively. The writing honors the complication. It allows the audience to feel the pull of both claims without requiring a verdict. The cultural moment of the early 1980s gives the generational material additional resonance. Many families were still negotiating the aftereffects of the previous 2 decades' social changes. Grandparents who had raised children under one set of expectations now encountered grandchildren shaped by another. The resulting awkwardness was widely shared and rarely depicted with this degree of specific non-judgmental attention. One Day at a Time treats the awkwardness as ordinary rather than as a problem to be solved by the end of the episode. The ordinariness is part of its power. As the visit continues, the apartment becomes a stage on which small performances of preference are continually enacted. Who sits where? Who receives the first greeting? Whose stories are encouraged and whose are gently redirected? Barbara moves through these performances with the skill of a person who has been practicing them for years. The cost of the practice is visible mainly in the occasional moment when she steps out of the room or when her voice carries a slight edge of fatigue. Valerie Bertinelli allows those moments to register without underlining them. The restraint makes them more rather than less affecting. By the time the early phase of the grandmother's visit draws toward its first major escalation, the emotional terms have been clearly established. 2 older women are competing for a limited resource of attention and preference. A younger woman is attempting to distribute that resource without destroying either relationship. The mother who might have mediated is absent. The comic potential is obvious. The underlying human difficulty is equally obvious. The script's achievement is that it never allows the comic potential to erase the difficulty. Both remain present, intertwined, and unresolved in the way that such family tensions are usually unresolved. I return to these scenes with a recognition that feels personal. The desire to be the preferred grandparent, the preferred parent, the preferred anyone is not limited to the characters on screen. It is one of the quieter engines of family life. The script observes that engine with humor and with sympathy, and in doing so it offers a portrait of intergenerational love that remains rarer than it should be, honest about the competition, generous toward all parties, and unwilling to pretend that love is ever distributed without remainder or without cost. The competition between the 2 grandmothers reaches its peak with a pair of gifts so excessive that they force the underlying rivalry into the open. What began as careful compliments and small territorial claims now expands into objects and experiences large enough to rearrange the emotional furniture of the household. The electric organ arrives first, a massive Dax-laying, impractical instrument that fills the living room with both sound and symbolic weight. Shortly afterward comes the offer of a 2-week trip to Hawaii, complete with plans for multiple islands and the promise of escape from ordinary irritations. Barbara Cooper, already stretched thin by the need to distribute her attention, finally reaches the limit of what polite gratitude can manage. The organ is presented with ceremonial flourish. Grandma Cooper has remembered, or has decided to remember, that Barbara once expressed a desire for such an instrument at the age of 8. The gift is therefore framed as the fulfillment of a long-delayed wish. The framing does not withstand much scrutiny. Barbara has no memory of the wish. She does not know how to play. The instrument is so large that its arrival requires explanation and physical negotiation with the space of the apartment. Yet the emotional intention behind it is clear. This is not a casual present. It is a declaration of preferential love made in the language of expensive durable objects. Schneider's reaction to the organ provides the first wave of comedy. He notes that most people hear such instruments only while roller skating or in a casket. The line is pure Schneider, a mixture of practical observation and cheerful morbidity. It also serves to underline the sheer oddity of the gift. An electric organ is not a sweater or a piece of jewelry. It is a commitment of space, of volume, and of ongoing presence. Once installed, it cannot be politely forgotten in a drawer. It will remain in the room as a reminder of the giver's claim. The Hawaii invitation arrives as a direct escalation. Grandma Cooper announces that she and Barbara will spend 2 weeks traveling among the islands, away from all of life's little irritations. The offer is framed as generosity, yet it functions equally as a removal. To accept the trip is to accept an extended period of exclusive company with one grandmother at the expense of the other, and at the expense of whatever ordinary life Barbara might have preferred to continue. The script allows the double nature of the invitation to sit in plain sight. The audience is not required to choose between seeing it as loving or seeing it as controlling. It is both. Barbara's initial responses remain within the bounds of practiced politeness. She expresses wonder. She expresses gratitude. She attempts to absorb the scale of what is being offered without committing herself to an enthusiasm she does not fully feel. Valerie Bertinelli plays the containment with a precision that makes the later eruption more powerful. The young woman has spent the visit managing the emotional temperature of the room. She has smiled through competitive compliments. She has accepted objects she did not request. She has listened to stories that were partly directed at her and partly directed at the rival grandmother. The pressure of that management has been accumulating, and the organ and the Hawaii trip together push it past the point of sustainable containment. The confrontation, when it finally arrives, is one of the most direct and necessary speeches the character is given in the composite script. Barbara tells both women that they are trying to buy her love. She names the competition as a game of outspending. She insists that she does not care about the gifts and that she cares about the people giving them. The language is simple, almost bald, and its simplicity is what gives it force. She is not theorizing about family systems. She is describing the lived experience of being the prize in a contest she never agreed to enter. The speech lands with different weight on each grandmother. For a moment the room holds the possibility of real damage. Then the script performs one of its characteristic movements of grace. The two older women, confronted with the cost of their rivalry, begin to retreat from the positions they have been defending. The organ will be returned. The Hawaii trip will be reimagined as a journey the two grandmothers take together rather than as an exclusive claim on Barbara's time. The solution is practical and also emotionally intelligent. It removes the immediate instruments of competition while preserving the possibility of relationship. I have known families in which gift-giving became the primary language of preference. The object or the experience arrives carrying more meaning than any card could express. The recipient is left to decode the meaning while also managing the feelings of the people who did not give the gift. The labor of that decoding and management is rarely acknowledged. The script acknowledges it. It allows Barbara to set the gifts down and to ask for something less tangible and more difficult: the simple, non-competitive presence of the people who claim to love her. The reconciliation between the grandmothers is handled with a light touch that nevertheless feels earned. They discover shared cultural references from an earlier era. They remember the same songs, the same public figures, the same small details of a world that no longer exists in the same form. The discovery does not erase the rivalry, but it provides a foundation on which a different kind of connection can begin to be built. The decision to travel to Hawaii together is both comic and hopeful. Two women who have been competing for the same limited resource of a granddaughter's attention now agree to share an experience that does not require the granddaughter's constant mediation. Barbara's relief is visible mainly in the release of tension across her shoulders and in the slight disbelief with which she receives the new arrangement. She has not won a victory in the conventional sense. She has simply refused to continue playing a game whose rules were harming everyone involved. The refusal is an act of emotional maturity that the script does not overpraise. It simply allows the consequences to unfold. The organ will go back, the trip will proceed without her, and the immediate pressure of competitive affection will ease. The sequence as a whole stands as one of the series' clearest examinations of how love can become entangled with display. The grandmother's gifts are genuine expressions of care. They are also bids for primacy. Barbara's rebellion is not a rejection of the care. It is a rejection of the bidding. The distinction is crucial and the writing keeps it clear. In the early 1980s, when family sitcoms often resolved intergenerational tension with a single heartfelt conversation and a group hug one day at a time allowed the tension to remain partly unresolved even after the immediate crisis had passed, the grandmothers will still be themselves. Barbara will still have to navigate their different styles of affection. The difference is that the navigation will no longer require her to accept objects and trips as proof of love. When I return to these scenes, I am struck by the physical presence of the organ in the living room. It is an almost perfect symbol of the problem. It is large. It is difficult to ignore. It demands space and ongoing attention. In that sense, it is not unlike the emotional claims that prompted its purchase. By choosing to send it back, the characters perform a small act of collective refusal. They refuse the idea that love must continually escalate in order to remain real. They refuse the idea that a granddaughter's affection is a scarce resource that must be captured through competitive display. The refusal is temporary and incomplete, as such refusals usually are. Yet it is real, and it leaves the household quieter and more honest than it found it. The final image of the two grandmothers contemplating a shared trip carries a gentle optimism. They have not become seamless friends. They have, however, recognized that the alternative to competition is not isolation but a different form of company. Barbara is released from the immediate role of prize and mediator. The apartment begins to return to a more sustainable emotional temperature. And the audience is left with the rare satisfaction of a family conflict that has been addressed not by the triumph of one party over another but by the mutual decision to stop playing the particular game that was causing the harm. The scenes that prepare Barbara's surprise birthday party are among the most purely affectionate in the entire composite script. They are also in retrospect the most heavily shadowed by what is about to arrive. The writing moves with the unhurried rhythm of ordinary goodwill. People hide a cake. They invent errands. They gather in a storeroom and wait for the moment when the birthday girl will walk into their carefully arranged happiness. Nothing in the immediate action signals danger. The danger is still outside the frame, approaching through a door that has not yet opened. Mr. Erskine, the store manager, functions as the practical coordinator of the surprise. His concern is logistical. The cake has been delivered and must be kept out of sight. Barbara must be removed from the premises long enough for the guests to take their places. The others must remain quiet until the precise instant of revelation. The details are small and specific. The cake is hidden behind the frisbees in the storeroom. Barbara is handed a letter and asked to take it to the mailbox. An errand invented on the spot and justified with a thin story about a special pickup for Cleveland. The invention is transparent to the audience and just plausible enough to send her out the door. The affection that drives these arrangements is quiet and collective. This is not a party organized by a single devoted individual. It is the work of a small community that has decided Barbara's 20th birthday deserves more than ordinary acknowledgement. Anne is present. Schneider is present. Grandma appears. Bob Morton is expected. The store itself has been turned into a temporary extension of the family's living room. In the early 1980s, when many young people celebrated birthdays in apartments or restaurants, the decision to stage the surprise in the workplace carries a particular warmth. It suggests that Barbara's working life and her family life are not fully separate and that the people who share one are willing to cross into the other for her sake. Valerie Bertinelli's Barbara in the brief moments before she is sent on the errand remains unaware. She moves through the closing routines of the store with the mild fatigue of a person who has completed a day's work and is ready to go home. The audience's knowledge of the waiting surprise creates a gentle dramatic irony. Every ordinary gesture she makes is about to be interrupted by affection. The irony is still benign. The script has not yet introduced the men who will interrupt the interruption. Schneider's presence in the storeroom carries the expected mixture of enthusiasm and self-importance. He has appointed himself part of the welcoming committee. He is ready with the kind of performance that such moments usually invite from him. The other guests settle into the particular awkwardness of people waiting in a confined space for a surprise that cannot be sprung until the target returns. The cake waits. The champagne later revealed as a six-pack of a bargain brand waits. The emotional temperature is one of contained excitement. I have participated in versions of this preparation. The whispered consultations about timing. The improvised errands designed to clear the room. The slight anxiety that the surprise might be discovered too soon or that the guest of honor might not react with the desired delight. The work is practical and also tender. It is one of the ways ordinary people translate love into logistics. The script honors the translation without inflating it. These are not heroic efforts, they are the small, coordinated kindnesses that make a birthday feel marked. The decision to hold the party in the storeroom rather than in a more open area of the store adds a layer of physical comedy that will later turn darker. The space is limited. The guests are crowded. The concealment is imperfect. When Barbara eventually returns, the revelation will have to happen quickly and in close quarters. The staging seems at this point merely a practical solution to the problem of surprise. Only later does the same confined space become a trap. Anne's role in the preparations is characteristically steady. She has helped to organize. She has protected the secret. She is ready to celebrate her daughter's 20th year with the mixture of pride and residual protectiveness that has defined her motherhood from the beginning. Bonnie Franklin plays the waiting with a calm that contrasts with Schneider's more restless energy. She has planned unusual elements for the evening, including a reservation at a restaurant that will later go unused. The care is visible even in the limited dialogue the script provides at this stage. The broader cultural context of a workplace birthday surprise in the early 1980s is worth noting. Many retail and service jobs offered little formal recognition of employees' personal lives. A party organized inside the store with the manager's cooperation and with family members present represents a small blurring of the line between labor and private celebration. The blurring is temporary and affectionate. It suggests a community that is willing to interrupt the ordinary closing routines for the sake of one person's milestone. As the guests settle into their hiding places, and Barbara is successfully sent out into the evening, the script achieves a moment of almost perfect calm. The store is nearly closed. The cake is hidden. The people who love Barbara are gathered and ready. The birthday girl is on a short errand from which she will return to an expression of collective regard. Everything is in place for a scene of uncomplicated happiness. The audience, of course, knows that the calm is about to be broken. The title of the larger episode sequence has already signaled the arrival of a hold-up. Yet, the writing refuses to rush. It allows the preparations to complete themselves. It allows the affection to establish itself fully before the threat enters. The result is a sharper contrast when the threat does appear. The men with the gun will not interrupt a neutral evening. They will interrupt an evening that has been carefully shaped by love. I find myself lingering on the image of the cake hidden behind the frisbees. It is such a specific, almost childlike detail. Someone has taken the trouble to place it where it will not be seen and where it will remain safe until the moment of revelation. The same care extends to the invented errand, to the quiet instructions, to the gathering of people who have arranged their evening around Barbara's happiness. The script treats these details with respect. They are not merely exposition. They are evidence of a community performing its ordinary duty of attention. When Barbara is finally out of the store and the door is locked behind the last of the preparers, the storeroom contains a small world of suspended celebration. The guests wait. The cake waits. The champagne waits. The emotional current is one of anticipation rather than tension. That anticipation is about to be hijacked by a completely different kind of suspense, yet for these few pages the script allows the milder form to exist without shadow. The kindness is real. The planning is real. The desire to mark Barbara's 20th birthday with surprise and presents is real. In the larger architecture of the composite episode, these preparatory scenes perform an essential function. They establish the value of what is about to be threatened. When the hold-up begins, the audience will not merely fear for the character's physical safety. They will also feel the specific loss of the celebration that has been so carefully arranged. The cake will still be there. The people will still be there. But the meaning of the gathering will have been forcibly changed. The preparations make that change measurable. The sequence ends with the store closed, the guests in place, and Barbara on her way back from the mailbox. The calm is complete. The storm has not yet arrived. In that brief interval, the script offers a portrait of ordinary collective care that remains one of its most purely appealing achievements. People have taken time. They have coordinated. They have hidden a cake behind frisbees. They are ready to say surprise. The readiness is itself a form of love, and the writing allows it to stand fully realized before everything changes.